Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for one of the warm-up matches of the T20 I almost messed up my intro. T20 Cricket World Cup. There we go. That's rolling off the tongue. This one is going to be between Pakistan, who are currently ranked third in terms of the rankings, and then also West Indies, who are sitting ninth at the moment. But both sides have a lot of talented players, and I am looking forward to seeing this one. Although, before we get too far into this, we have got to send the condolences to the family and friends of Sean Waino, who did sadly pass away this morning in a car accident. So hopefully, at this stage, sending out the love to his family. And we have also got Sebastian, Crazy NZ, Smithy Toilet, and also Kevin saying the same thing. But yeah, still very young, and it is a big shame in that regard and a big hit for New Zealand rugby. But at this stage now, we have got this match of the T20 World Cup. It was not how I was expecting to be starting this one. But yeah, at this stage, India. And also, it is going to be, I want to say India are playing England later on tonight, and also New Zealand playing up against Australia is another match that we have got there. And then the match a little bit later on, or also at the same time as this game, actually, it is going to be South Africa taking on Afghanistan, while we have got a qualifying match taking place for it is, I've got to remember the two teams, but it is actually Ireland taking on Oman. No, it's not Oman. It is someone instead. Tell you what, I've had a shocker to the start of this one, that is for sure. But nonetheless, Pakistan versus the West Indies. The West Indies have elected to bat first, as they were able to win the toss. So this is just a warm-up game. It does not count towards any of the points or anything along those lines for this one, but it's looking like a dry pitch there. The warm-up match in Dubai as well for this one in the UAE is where these games are going to be located. But yeah, at this stage, Pakistan, they are ranked third, just behind India, and then also England are actually the number one test team, or sorry, number one T20 team in the world. But we are just waiting to see exactly who is going to be in each of the lineups, and the game is going to be getting underway in about 8 minutes' time or so for this one as well. But it's looking like a nice day at the moment. I am going to get up that fixture. It is actually the Netherlands taking on Ireland is the other one that is going to be taking place. But do let me know who you think is going to be winning this one. I do see here definitely Pakistan by a big shout should take it as well, says Kevin there. So West Indies in the end, it was Kieran Pollard would have had the call there. He did end up winning it for a side, and that means that West Indies are going to be setting the total, and they have a very, very strong batting lineup here. Kieran Pollard also in their squad that they have got Evan Lewis, Chris Gale, who is just an absolute beast when it comes to hitting the cricket ball, Andre Fletcher, Sharon Hetmeyer, also it will be Simmons, Puran, Russell, Chase, Alan Bravo, Walsh, Rampal, McCoy, and also Thomas, but they are only allowed to have 11 of those men, of course, and the coach for this one, Phil Simmons, as well. We have also got there RIP Sean Wainui from Moorcake as well. And yeah, very sad news this morning indeed. And some Indian guy has made a load of YouTube channels and clickbaited using Sean's name, then had the balls to say Sean was drunk driving and he plays football as well, says Immortal. So yeah, I'm not sure whether or not that is the way to do it at this stage. But yeah, hopefully his channels do get taken down in that regard there. And also we have got there in on the black cap, says Smithy Toilet. Also, I see that everywhere, says Smithy Toilet, and also RIP says a username there as well. And yeah, at this stage, New Zealand, they are going to be playing a match at 3 a.m. New Zealand time. All of these games kicking off, or getting underway, I should say, at either 11 p.m. or 3 a.m. in the West Indies. They are going to be hoping that they will be able to get themselves a big win. And a big man here, Chris Gale, is getting a little bit of an interview beforehand. He will be opening here by the looks of it, or will he? Maybe he isn't going to be playing in this match. We will have to wait and see, but he is certainly a dangerous talent. We see him in all the competitions around the world being able to hit runs for fun. The strike rate is phenomenal as well, and he's in a better place as well. Says Moorcake there. But yeah, at this stage, I'm wondering who's going to be the top scorer for this game. I'm not too sure whether or not the two sides have actually announced who they have got in their starting lineups for this one quite yet, but as soon as they do, I will be sure to let you guys know exactly who is going to be out there on the field. It's 11 versus 11, different to the rugby that we are normally doing on the channel as well, but only 5 minutes away, and West Indies are going to be batting first. So for you guys who don't really follow cricket too much, the idea of it is you got to get more runs than your opponent. You've got 10 wickets in hand to be able to try and get those runs, and you've got 120 balls that you are able to go for it in that regard. But there are 3 games kicking off all at the same time here. The first one being this one between the West Indies and also Pakistan. Then also alongside it, there is going to be the game that will be taking place. It is going to be Netherlands taking on Ireland, and Netherlands will be batting first for that fixture. And then Afghanistan versus South Africa is another one as well. And what did Black Caps do? Says username, I believe it is along the lines of they were going to be going to Pakistan, and I believe they did travel to Pakistan, but then because of a security breach, I believe it was, it did mean that they didn't actually end up playing those games over there. Same with England. England didn't play any games in Pakistan either. So because of that, there was 2 cancelled out ones at this stage. Now it looks like Pakistan, they have got a very good side. Baba Azam is the man who is going to be captaining them. Also, I would say, where is he? It is Shian Afridi. He is a good player to watch out for. I remember in the test matches, Harris Ralph as well, actually, from the KFC Big Bash, is another player to look out for because he is a phenomenal talent. Got a lot of aggression in that bowling as well, banging it into the pitch. And with this dry wicket here in Abu Dhabi, or sorry, it is actually just in Dubai for this match. Yeah, it could be a very interesting one for him to be able to get out there. Maybe open the bowling if they decide to go that way as well. And can't wait for this game against USA. I reckon All Blacks will break the 100 against them as well, says Immortals. So yeah, it would be very impressive if they were able to do so in that one. And also we have got their ABs to perform Timatanga against the USA. Let's go as well, says Smithy Taller. And also we have got their Bride got smashed by a supercell. Storms that tornadoes are formed. Big lightning strikes and power went out for a couple seconds. And all I cared about was getting my hot sausage roll from the bakery as well, says More Cake. I mean, the priorities there well and truly up it in terms, or I well and truly respect that. The sausage rolls, though, if you get yourself a good sausage roll, you are good for the day. But they are just having an interview now with Baba Assam, and he will be hoping that his side can get themselves a big win here. And the big question is whether or not Pakistan can win this game. They are sitting on 46% likeliness of winning this matchup. And with the West Indies, I feel like their big talents are definitely in those batters, but they can bowl as well, which does mean that it could go either way in this fixture. But I'm very excited for it. The first game of the Cricket World Cup that we are going to be covering on the channel. It is a warm-up game between the two sides. And then the game just a little bit later on at 3 a.m. is going to be the match between the Black Caps and Australia. So that will be a very good one as well. ABs to score 81 to represent Wainui passed on the 18th as well. Flip it over as well, says Smithy Toilet. And yeah, at this stage, hopefully they will be able to have a good performance there. I know that there's quite a few Chiefs players in that All Blacks camp. The likes of the backline is pretty much Chiefs indeed. It is Damian McKenzie, Anton Leonard-Brown. And then in the 4-pack, they've got quite a few players, the likes of a Tupavai, Luke Jacobson, and along those lines. Also, lightning struck the floor, an electric pole, and I get to leave school early as well, says Morcake. So yeah, hopefully that storm does clear up a little bit for you, mate. We don't want to see too many power outages around this region of the world, or anywhere in the world, to be fair. But now Pakistan, they're going to be making their way out onto the field. They are going to be the side that are fielding first and bowling as well. Going to be very, very exciting to see exactly who is going to be winning this game. But now it looks like opening the batting, trying to see the name on the back. I need to try and remember these guys. I believe it's Whitmire who will be opening the batting. I haven't actually watched too much cricket in some recent time, unfortunately. But I'm very looking forward to this one as well. Time for some cricket. Looking forward to some excellent commentary as always. Says a wise one as well. Thank you very much, mate. It is great to see you guys all here for this matchup. It is currently 11 p.m. here in New Zealand, but we have got not just this live stream. We are going to be doing one for the Black Caps taking on Australia for their warm-up fixture as well. Alongside that one, I believe we are going to be watching the game between India and England at the exact same time. And I also don't know much cricket players as well, says Smithy Toilet. And yeah, I feel like I've got to retrain my brain into cricket commentary. It's been a long time since I have done any commentary for a cricket game. I believe the last time was the KFC Big Bash, which was a very long while ago. My teacher, no games, me at the back watching Hawke's Bay versus Canterbury highlights as well, says a more cake. And that was a very exciting game. A lot of tries being scored throughout that one. But yeah, this stage, Pakistan, they will be hoping for a few wickets in the early stages. It looks like they haven't actually got Chris Gale out there. They are going to be going instead with, it will be Simmons who will be opening the batting here. And I believe he will have the strike as well. Only know Garfield Sobers for the West Indies as well, says Smithy Todd. And also Chris Gale to score the most runs. Hamish, what do you think? Says Aiden. I would agree, although it seems like they haven't actually had him out there at the moment. It's going to be Lyndall Simmons who will be on strike, 36 years of age, and also has a very decent average of 27.42 with a strike rate of 123.4. So he will be hoping to really go out there and get that strike rate turning over in the early stages of this game as well, because of course with a power play is something that some of you guys who do watch a little bit more rugby may not know about. It is pretty much meaning that you're only allowed a couple fielders outside of the ring, which is 30 meters around the pitch. So that means that it's easier to score runs in the outfield, finding the gaps for the batsman who will be trying to hit it straight over the top. Andre Fletcher at the non-strikers end has an average of 21.11 and a best of 84. Also very decent strike rate of going it over a runner ball. Thanks for doing cricket, bruv. Says, I'll be saying no worries, mate. I absolutely love myself some cricket. We will be doing the KFC Big Bash on the channel as well, and it's going to be Shian Afridi who will be opening the bowling for them. Age 21, left arm fast. He had a very good competition when he was inside of New Zealand for the test matches around Boxing Day. And also, will you be doing the live? Will you be going live for the Sri Lanka game as well, says Aiden in Sri Lanka. They are going to be playing Namibia at that same time. It is actually New Zealand versus Australia. So we're going to be covering that one. But now Shian Afridi running into bowl the first ball, and straight away an aggressive looking shot from the West Indies down into the hands of mid-off. It was straight down the ground, and it is going to be just the dot ball to get us underway. Right, I am going to see whether or not my scoreboard is going to behave, and it is going to be updating itself throughout this match as well. Hopefully, we will be able to get it that way so that it can keep on going. This is going to be a new process for myself. We go like this, and we will go like one moment. We go like this, and then I believe if I press this button, luckily this will have a little bit more downtime. It's going to be bowled once again by Afridi just down the leg side, so it's going to be the wide there. So now at this stage, they are just going to be sitting on the one run. But if I go like this, and now like this, there we go. We have got ourselves the scoreboard right next to us there. As you can see, Simmons and also Fletcher and Afridi is the man who is going to be bowling for the early stages of this one, getting the opening over of this game. So in T20, you are also allowed 4 overs as a bowler. You're allowed a maximum of 4. We will put a nice little background as well. We have got a background of a ground for some cricket. Gotta love it. But now at this stage, Simmons still on strike, only facing the one ball so far with the wide as the second Afridi runs in. Let's hit the leg, and it is going to be a leg by now, getting the first run. Oh, almost a little bit of a run out opportunity there, but Afridi won't be minding that one too much. They will be trying to keep the West Indies from getting too much momentum in the early stages of this game, as they are a side that as soon as they start building it, they can really build a huge total. Go Chargers in the NFL, and also we have got there Virat Kohli, eh? Yeah, he is a very talented player indeed, and New Zealand has a good chance to win this. They do indeed, and tell you what, when you look through the pools at the moment, like there's a crazy amount of talent in Pool A, and we are in Pool B. So because of that, it does mean that we'll have a decent chance of being able to make our way through into the semi-final, because in our group, the biggest contesters, I would say, are going to be, it will be India, Pakistan, who are actually playing this game up against the West Indies, and then also the next match will be the one taking place, and that is going to be or I should say Afghanistan are also in ours. And then the Black Caps, of course, are the 4 big ones. Bouncer there from Shian Afridi for his 3rd ball of his spell as well. And then also in Pool A, which is the big one, they've got Australia, England, South Africa, maybe Sri Lanka could be added in there as well. And then there is also the West Indies. So they've got 4 powerhouses, and then maybe someone like a Sri Lanka or a Bangladesh can make their way in there as well. And it's going to be a crazy pool indeed for only 2 teams to be able to make it through. Let's win the Super Rugby title in 2022 for Sean Wainui. Let's go as well. Says that Smithy Dollar there. And also New Zealand has a good chance to win this. And sad news about Sean today. Yeah, it was indeed off the edge there from the West Indian batter. And it is going to be going down to 3rd man just for the single. So Fletcher finding the edge off the second ball he did face throughout this game as well. Isn't this a warm-up match, Hamish? It is indeed, which does mean that we are going to be in the position of pretty much no one gets any points for this one. But there is a game going on at the moment that points are on the line, and that's the Netherlands taking on Ireland. And it is going to be Netherlands to bat first in that fixture as well. We have got their big level. I cheer for the West Indies, but I think Pakistan will win by 8 runs as well. Had to watch it to get the gist of the sport as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, hopefully you are enjoying it. Beautiful cover drive, I should say. That's gone straight to the fielder, so not able to get it through that gap and also get it all. Hamish as well, says David. David, welcome in, mate. And also we have got their greatest coach of all time. I know a lot of people, I'd say George is very high on, it is actually Dave Rennie or someone like that, or maybe even an Eddie Jones who's a little bit unorthodox at times, but he actually says that he's probably a decent one as well. They are showing Malik in the midfield, or in the outfield, I should say, as well. And it's going to be exciting to see what these guys can do for Pakistan throughout this one when they do get the ball in hand, and also when they get a little bit of a bat in the later stages. But now it's going to be a little rolling ball there, almost a spinner cutter. It is called in cricket there, and it was just a single there. And that is 4 without loss after the first over, so a decent opening one there. The Australia versus New Zealand game is tomorrow night. Not tonight, Hamish says. Aiden, is it taking place at 3 a.m.? It's England versus India tonight. I believe, if I'm not wrong, they are on at the exact same time, Aiden. But I could be wrong here. And if that is the case, then my app is telling me lies, because at this stage has got that it says that both of those games are going to be kicking off starting in 4 hours' time. But I could be wrong. in that regard. But do let me know. Also, we have got the in the 10 out of 10 as well, brother, from Sebastian. Rob McQueen was another main coach in RIP. Sean Wainui says Paddy Wagon as well. Yeah, very tragic news this morning, unfortunately. Ahmad Wisdom is going to be the man who is bowling here. Slow left arm bowler, so a little bit of spin early on in this game. And also we have got there 1 Graham Henry, 2 Wayne Smith, 3 Rod McQueen, and also 4 Clive Woodward, and also Ian McGetchin. And a greatest coaches in order, as well, says Smithy Toilet. And also we have got there, when do you sleep? Fantastic job with rugby and cricket commentary. Really enjoy getting update while on the building site. We'll buy you a beer or two when I meet you. Thanks as well, says William. No worries, mate. I did actually end up sleeping during the day today because of the fact that with all the cricket that we have had on, or coming up, I should say, and also with all the rugby, I end up sleeping, I guess, around like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or somewhere around there. That's kind of my window at the moment with all the rugby and cricket that we have got. Just hit down the ground off the first ball of Ahmad. And it is going to be the dot ball. So at the moment, Simmons sitting on 2 off 5, not getting too far forward, but it is that situation. They've still got a few more overs of the power play. A little bit of a field change here for Pakistan as well. And Ahmad now going to have his second bowl of the day. We have got the RIP Sean Wainui, played a couple games for the Bay this year. And yeah, he was a very good player for the Chiefs. He was actually able to get 5 tries in one of those matches for Super Rugby, which was just absolutely incredible. And I believe it was a record as well, if I'm not wrong. South Africa had good chances of winning T20 Cup as well, says Kevin. Yeah, as long as they make their way through that kind of group stage and get to the semi-final, I feel like they are also a side. They have a lot of talent, all trying to free the arms a little bit, but ended up following him there, Ahmad, with the ball. And it did mean that it is going to be the dot ball once again. Good bowling so far from Pakistan, not giving the West Indians too much space to be able to try and hit that ball through. And also we have got there. Also, my prediction yesterday turned out to be completely wrong. Only English colonies from the Caribbean are included, such as Jamaica, Barbados, Dominica, and Trinidad and Tobago as well, says Sebastian. Now at this stage, Ahmad going to be whipped away to the leg side, looking to push for maybe the 2. No, running onto it very nicely here was Asif in the deep. He was able to keep it to just the 1. So at the moment, Pakistan off to a little bit of a slower start than they would have liked. Or sorry, West Indies down to a little bit of a slower start. But at this stage, it is still that situation of a West Indian batter. Chris Gale's a perfect example. You only need half an inch to be able to get a few runs, or maybe even 50 in that man's case. But he is not playing in this game, unfortunately, I don't believe. But instead, it is going to be Simmons and Fletcher who are opening the batting. Ahmad once again be putting it down. Another block there. Not able to free the arms once again. The West Indian opener, Fletcher, who has got a decent record so far. And also we have got there RIP Sean Wainui. He'll know who I am, bro. I snapped his ankles back in school days as well. Says Smithy Jordan. Also we have there had a WTF moment when I saw Sean Wainui had passed. Not something you expect as well, says Novmum. Yeah, I was thrown off completely because I did actually see a comment on one of my videos. And they did say there, it was pretty much just blunt, and it said, Sean Wainui has died with a sad face. And I thought at the time that maybe it was on one of the old rugby challenge videos that I had done with that man in it, because I assumed maybe he got clotheslined or a high tackle on him or something along those lines. But then you go on Instagram and you see all the messages, and then it kind of hits you. And it is like, he's only 25 as well, which was a bit of a shame. Is this a cricket channel? Says Kikai. At this stage, we do cricket, rugby, and also sometimes a few other sports might be thrown in there, but mainly cricket and rugby, with the fact that we are going to be heading into the November internationals for the rugby, KFC Big Bash for the cricket as well. We have got their same here. We have to be careful when we're behind the wheel as well, says Sebastian there. But now it's going to be Hassan Ali getting the 3rd over of this match. At the moment, only sitting 5 for none, but they haven't lost any wickets yet. We did see yesterday that it was a huge upset. Scotland able to beat Bangladesh, which they were not supposed to, but they have been able to get themselves up there. So because of it, it does mean that it is going to be sitting in a pretty decent position for Scotland to be able to make their way through. I will quickly zoom in just a little bit more so you guys can see it. There we go. At the moment, Group B is sitting with Oman on 2 points, Scotland on 2 points, Bangladesh and Papua New Guinea both not quite sitting there as well. It was his birthday this Saturday as well, says Novmum. So I did not know that. Whipped away to the leg side then, and Hassan's first ball has been hit to the boundary by Simmons, who has now been able to get himself underway with about 9 runs there. Actually, as a leg by, wasn't quite able to keep up with it there, but it is still the 4 runs. Just the line a little bit off, going to the leg hand side, hitting the thigh pad and roll away to the boundary. Looks like a quick outfield at the moment. That bowler, Sheena Freddie, is an all-rounder as well, is the all-rounder, says David. Yeah, he's a very good player. I remember watching him in the Boxing Day test up against New Zealand. He was just a very good player indeed. It's going to be cut away there, down to third man, and it is just going to be the single there for Simmons once again. But at this stage, I am just trying to see whether or not we have got the exact lineup. At the moment, it does keep on showing me that there are 15 players, but there are only 11 at once as well. Are you Australian? I'm actually from New Zealand. So we are sitting at 11 p.m. here, and we are going to be doing the game that is starting at 3 a.m. between New Zealand and Australia as well. And hello, Kiwi lads. It is Brandon. Sam gave me the YouTube channel as well. Says Sam, so that is pretty awesome. Or Brandon, I should say. And also, we have got there people who reckon Rassie's the greatest coach. Hey, let's calm down, as I said, Smithy Toilet. And also, Uncle Wills has said, man, Sean's passing was so sad. I woke up to it, and I was thinking about his family, RIP. Yeah, it is a big hit, definitely because of the fact that, I mean, his wife and his two young kids, yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them for a little while as well. And also, we have got there, KK has said, we have a freshman as well. Says, I was thinking also, hopefully, they will be able to have a funeral for Sean with the levels as well. Says Shane, because I believe at the moment Waikato must be sitting level 3, I want to say. So yeah, I assume that is 50 max, or is it actually less than 50? So hopefully they can get something together though. Who do you think will win the Cricket World Cup, Hamish? Says Aiden. I think I said 4 teams. Oh, that's going to be close to a shout. He has gone up with the appeal, and it is going to be a leg by just going a little bit high, the umpire says. So it is going to be Simmons, who was almost going to get out there. LBW, I believe they have they got reviews here? We have to wait and see whether or not that is the case. It doesn't seem like they are going to be going upstairs, so it's just a league by there. Yes, level 3 for Waikato as well. Ended up also kind of cutting a little bit too much, so it might have been height and also the kind of direction that may have been the factor there for the LBW. And also we have got there, are you going to be live tomorrow for the English 7 and Springboks at 5:30 a.m? I am as well. Says Sam, we are not going, or sorry, says Brandon, we are not going to be, we are going to, oh, he's chopped it on there. And it's going to be Fletcher, unfortunately for him. His wicket has been knocked over. Hassan picking up the first wicket there for Pakistan. And now the West Indies going to be sitting 12 for 1. Unfortunately for Fletcher, tried to play the cover drive and ended up just with the inside edge. The worst feeling for a batsman is when you chop that one straight onto middle stump. And he is going to be on his way, unfortunately. He is gone. And now at this stage, they are going to be 1 down. Still in the power play. Our Rassie's legend, can't disagree, hey, as well, says Kevin. And also, does New Zealand have any left-hand bowlers? We have got Trent Bolt, who is probably, I guess you could say, one of the best options for New Zealand in terms of that left-hand bowling. I believe he is left-hand bowling. I had to think for a second there just to make sure. But now it is going to be Chris Gale. He's actually coming out at 3 for this one. Sometimes opens the batting, but now at this stage, he's going to be a powerhouse if he can get onto the ball in the early stages of this one. Looks like it's moving around a little bit. But yeah, for the Cricket World Cup, my prediction of who's going to be able to win, I'm going to say 4 teams because it's very hard to cut them down to any less than that. So I'm going to say it's going to be I'm hoping either New Zealand, just because of the fact that I'm from New Zealand, so I feel like I got to say that. Then maybe England, India, or Australia. I think are my other team, but there are certainly some teams, such as the West Indies or Pakistan, who could cause an upset and get themselves the win there, depending on how it goes as well. We have got there, Sam is going to be back tomorrow, says Brandon, and also we have got there, also go Pakistan, go, as well, says Smithy, and also New Zealand will win, hopefully, says David. And yeah, at this stage, we have got the game between New Zealand and Australia. Will be kicking off, or will be starting. Sorry, I keep on saying kicking off. I'm in full-on rugby mode because of the last about 7 months that we have been covering nothing but rugby. But now we have got our cricket going back in as well as player, such a leader as well, says Kevin. And also, I know Freddie Flintoff, who used to play for England, heard he was pretty legendary as well. He was indeed very good player, Freddie Flintoff. And yeah, I believe he's an ambassador for the cricket now. If I'm not wrong, I believe it was actually the World Cup. I want to say it was 2 years ago that he was kind of the main talking point about it in terms of the ambassador. But Chris Gale now first ball on strike. He has left it outside of the left-hand side. And that's the thing. With Chris Gale, he can afford to leave the ball because of the fact that if he decides to go after it, he's going to hit it to the boundary for 6 more than likely. Are you going to download Bloods Zombies Battle for Navalville tomorrow on the PC, says Brandon. Unfortunately, I don't think I've got enough space on my PC to have too many games at this stage, so I have got to go with just the kind of stock standard of Rugby Challenge. And I believe I actually downloaded Cricket 19. Tried a little bit of Flight Simulator, but ended up crashing, unfortunately, there as well. And we have got there Sean Wainui. He is a true legend. I watched him play for New Zealand Māori, and he always had that haka with such passion as well for Sean Wainui. Like, he was the definition of the Chiefs mana at the Chiefs as well. So it is just, it's a sad day for them indeed. And we have also got there, my mate used to date Wainui's missus before Sean as well, says Smithy Toilet. So you're from Waikato as well, aren't you, Smithy? I feel like hopefully I have got your region right there. Now Simmons, he has lost the helmet at this stage. Ahmad is going to be bowling here, and I believe he was playing for the Melbourne Renegades throughout the KFC Big Bash last year, but I could be wrong in that regard. It's going to be hitting the pad, and there is no run there. No quick singles when it comes to Chris Gale. He just goes out there, he whacks the ball, and then he ends up getting himself 50s a lot of the time. Only know Kane Williamson from the Black Caps as well, says Smithy Toilet, and Ross Taylor as well, although I'm not sure whether or not Ross Taylor is here, but Kane Williamson certainly is, and he will more than likely be playing in that game later on. It's a big swing there, hitting it out through the covers, a very nice shot, and now it's going to be a chase for the Pakistani fielder. He is going to just be able to get to that one. Hafiz has been able to chase it down, but I believe Simmons there, they are going to get themselves just the 2 runs. And Chris Gale thinking about going for the 3, but not quite able to get there. Is New Zealand Māori playing anytime soon or not, says Kag Kaya. Unfortunately, I don't believe we've got any more games for the Māori All Blacks for about another... I don't think they've actually got a game this year. I know that Manu Samoa are going to be playing up against the Barbarians. I think is the only kind of non-international fixture that anyone is playing in the near future, sadly. So hopefully we do get to see a few more games from them in the future. Maybe a rematch up against Moana Pacifica before Super Rugby gets underway. That would be pretty awesome to see it as well. Warrior star Reece Walsh admitted to possession of cocaine. Rugby league players are doing or do be doing a lot of drugs as well. Says the model is going to be flicked to the league side. No quick single there. And it was once again Simmons, who was still on strike. So at the moment, sitting on 6 runs off 15 balls, still trying to get himself underway here, but just hasn't quite been able to find that momentum. Just whipping it to the league side. A little bit of a yes-no, and did get sent back there. Ahmad once again, bowling wide of the crease, trying to whip the ball away to the league side. Instead, hits it straight back to Ahmad, and it's another dot ball. Great bowling here from Pakistan in the early stages. Definitely Ahmad almost bowled 2 overs and has only gone for the 3 runs so far. The beast is off to jail soon as well, and I assume that is Manu Vatuvai, who we are talking about as well. Bay of Plenty. Sean was from North Shore. I spent 2 years at Auckland, Lady of the Sacred Heart as well, says Smithy Toilet there. But Ahmad once again bowling it almost ended up chipping it onto his stumps as well there, but it is going to be another dot ball. Simmons struggling to get underway here a little bit, but at this stage 14 for 1 after the 4 overs. Bit of a slow start for the West Indies, but we do know the talent that they've got in that batting order. They've got the likes of Kyron Pollard, I believe, will be coming out a little bit later on. He can hit a long ball as well. So Pakistan, they need to make sure they keep that line and length. They're bowling to the conditions at the moment, making it very hard to get the ball away. But 4 overs gone at the moment, 14 for 1. Very decent score indeed. We have got there. Very sorry about the lost brother as well. If you know him personally, that's even more hurtful as well, says Sebastian. But then I went back to Rororo Boys High School in the 3rd term of year 11 as well, says that Smithy Toilet there. But now it's going to be Harris Ralph. This is a player I enjoy watching. He played for the Melbourne Stars in the last year's KFC Big Bash, and he's just one of those players. He's got a ton of aggression, but a ton of pace. He can put it around 155 kilometers an hour if he gets going. Wickets, 28 so far from his 23 matches, and his best is 3 for 29. He'd absolutely love to be able to knock the stumps over of Chris Gale here, but there is a chance with pace on the ball that Chris Gale might decide to try and smack it straight back over his head. Harris Ralph now going to be running, and he runs in with aggression as well. Puts it there out on the offside, and it is just going to be the dot ball, hitting it straight into the hands of point. We have also got there Jez Kazi. I didn't know him that much. Only memory would have been hanging out with Sean and his mates after the game as well. And as their crowds in the cricket, says KK, looking round, I believe at this stage, I want to say no, but no, there's a few people scattered around, although this ground doesn't look like it's got too much seating available, unfortunately. So I believe they haven't really got a huge amount for this one as well. But hopefully for some of the games they are able to. I saw that they had a marching band for the first game, well bowled by Harris Ralph just outside of the off stump, and Chris Gale does a little bit of a block and a miss. But yeah, I believe they did actually have a marching band of about 200 people for the first game. So I'm wondering if they're able to have that. Maybe they are allowed to have some sort of crowd, but that was a nice little bit of movement there for Harris Ralph. Came in, then went away just off the seam, which meant that Chris Gale was just kind of fetching for it a little bit. He was bloody hard. He's so passionate as well. And you can tell that every time you see a haka or anything like that. He's always putting the heart into it. And my condolences, bro, as well. Says that David there. Now it's going to be Harris Ralph once again with the full pitch delivery. And it is once again left by Chris Gale. So currently sitting 0 from 4. Now something he'll have to make sure not to end up having happen is leaving just a few too many balls and then ending up getting out. It's a risky game, but when you do back your ability like Chris Gale would, it does mean that you can possibly get away with being able to take a little bit of times at Scott Games as well. Says it is Brandon there and also Cherkazis, and also it's played in the Middle East, so don't expect huge crowds as well. Says Obi Snake, and I'm actually looking around this ground at the moment. It's in Dubai, and there aren't really that many seats, so I'm not sure whether or not it is kind of maybe seating that can be put up and then taken down kind of thing, or whether or not it is just the fact that this ground, because of this game being a warm-up, maybe they aren't willing to have the crowds at it for this one as well. But I'm looking around and I'm not really seeing too many people around there. But at this stage, the Pakistani squad, they've got a good one for this match as well. They have got a very good chance of being able to make it through to the semi-final. But for them to be able to do so, they will have to either beat the Black Caps from New Zealand, or India might be the other team that they'll have to try and get the win over to be able to make it up there. But at the moment, 14 for 1, 4 balls of Harris Ralph Spell, and he hasn't gone for a run yet. Chris Gale now trying to play the cover drive. It's going to be through the gap now, and this could be the first boundary of the game off the bat, and it is indeed out through cover, and Chris Gale does get himself his first boundary. Didn't even look like he tried to hit it hard there. Chris Gale just put the bat out there, and it did go straight through the gap as well. He's got a very solid bat and also a very solid frame to be able to do it. Just the perfect technique of being able to just flick the ball through the covers. Almost went backward point, actually. Ended up there, and then just a little bit of a misfield from Chicago, I believe it was. And also, I'm going to bed, says Brandon, so we will see you later on, mate. So the teams who are playing now for points are, or is it a pre-World Cup qualifier of sorts as well, says Sebastian. So these games here, some of them are warm-up games, which means that there are no points on the line, and it's kind of just playing aside from the opposite pole, or beautifully bowled by Harris Ralph. They're back on the money there for the block of Chris Gale. But pretty much it is, these games do not have any points implications, but there is a game at the moment, Netherlands taking on Ireland, who are actually kind of playing off for points. So there are 8 teams at the moment who are going to be playing against everyone in their pool, and then whoever ends up with the 2 top teams of the 2 pools, as there are 2 groups of 4, they go through to the Super 12, as it's called, which does have these teams who have already qualified. And they're the likes of West Indies, Pakistan, South Africa, Afghanistan, New Zealand, Australia, England, and also India are the 8. So then these 2 sides here, they are already qualified, and it is going to be between Ireland, Oman, Papua New Guinea, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and a few others who I can't quite think of. Scotland as well. We're able to get that big win over Bangladesh. I wanted to get up and watch the stream this morning, Hamish, but my alarm didn't go off as well, says David. No worries there, mate. Oh, it's a big strike down the ground, and it's a brilliant shot as well from Simmons. Gets himself 4 runs, and now he has scored his first boundary. So straight away now, we've had 2 boundaries in a very short amount of time here for Simmons and also Chris Gale. But yeah, that game, it ended up being a very, very high-scoring one between Saracens and Bath in the end, 71 points to 17. Freddie just getting the length wrong, went through the legs at Chris Gale, down the ground to long on, or long off, sorry. And it was the boundary there. Gale must be in his 40s now as well, says Obi Snake. He's getting up there, but he still hits the ball very, very well, Chris Gale. I assume this will be his last World Cup, but you never know. The way that he goes might be there in about 6 years' time. It's just going to be blocked there. Freddie, get in the line right that time. And it is going to be the dot ball once again. We have got there. Taniela Tupou came to Auckland, Lady of the Sacred Heart, and after I left as well. It says it's Smithy Toilet there. And also we have got there. So the Super 12 is the actual World Cup competition. Cheers for the explanation, Hamish. 10 out of 10, says Sebastian. Yeah, so pretty much once we get down to the 12 teams, it is 2 groups of 6. And then the top 2 for both of those kind of groups do end up going through to the semi-finals and then the final prize. So that means that New Zealand versus Australia, it's going to be a little bit short there and pulled away by Simmons, and it is going to be another 4 runs for the West Indies. But yeah, at this stage, it is going to be New Zealand and Australia playing at 3 a.m., but they won't be able to play up until the next time they get to play would be if both of them qualify for the semi-finals, as they are on opposite sides of the draw. So we are actually going to see the likes of us versus England and New Zealand versus Australia. Those games we don't actually get to see again up until the semi-final if New Zealand are in that top 2 as well. Australia getting easy wins at this World Cup. Other countries shouldn't even try as well, says Luke, although their first game, it is going to be up against New Zealand, and then their second, I want to say it's up against India, which is going to be a very tough battle for them as well. What do you do aside from doing YouTube streams, says KK? At this stage, it is actually all that I do. I am full-time doing these YouTube live streams for rugby and also cricket, but maybe we will be adding in a couple other sports and competitions from around the world in a very short moment. But yeah, pretty much it is I call it a full-time, part-time job. That's a big strike of the ball there. And Afridi once again going to be going to the boundary, out cover point way. It's another very nice shot from Simmons, who is now getting himself well and truly underway. And they are going to be sitting on 30 for 1. So these are the last few balls of the power play. So they're trying to get themselves a few extra points there. Oh, Afridi very close to a no ball, which you have to be very careful, but sliced away there through point, and it was another boundary, 2 in a row at the moment here. And now he will be hoping to be able to get himself one more perhaps before the end of the over. And I do see Dale Staines actually on commentary, so I was wondering whether or not he was still around for South Africa, but he is going to be on the commentary instead for this Cricket World Cup by the looks of it. And also we have got there No Plants vs Zombies battle for Naperville on Wednesday as well, says Brandon here. It does seem that way, unfortunately. But 3 boundaries so far in this over. Shaheen Afridi had a very good first one, but now already going for 12 in the first 4 balls of this one, running in once again, and now just going to be turning it to leg. No run there. Simmons is going to be sending Chris Gale back, and now almost an overthrow, but Pakistan haven't been able to get that dot ball. Can you do in the next Fury fight? When is he fighting next, Toby Snake? Have they confirmed it yet? Because, of course, he was able to get that win over Devontae Wilder, which was a very big one indeed. Is his next one going to be Anthony Joshua? I feel like I've heard that rumor, but that could just be a rumor once again. We have got there. To be honest, it's quite strange that you don't have a lot of people here compared to a rugby game, but I like it as it gives everyone more opportunities to talk to you a bit more, says Aiden. Yeah, I believe because of the fact also we haven't actually done a cricket live stream on the channel since about February last year. That one's going to be going up in the air in Pakistan. Take the wicket. Harris Ralph able to take the catch, and Simmons going to be on his way. 18 runs off 23, but in the end, he just tried to hit it to the leg side on the pull shot and ended up, unfortunately, for him just getting that top edge, which did mean that it is going to be Simmons on his way. So 2 wickets down in the power play, going at an economy rate of 5, but it was the bouncer from Afridi. Simmons tried to get hold of it and then just didn't quite get it, and then it was short, fine leg, was able to take the catch there. Harris Ralph looking into the sun as well, but he had the glasses on, and he was able to get it as well. And we have got there. White is next as well, says Obi Second. Also, that's cool. What made you think of doing YouTube full time as well, says Ki Kai? I think it was just the case of we originally were a gaming channel and we were kind of doing a little bit of rugby challenge and that kind of thing. And then it kind of got to the stage how we decided to try and do a couple real life rugby watch alongs kind of thing. And then that's where the commentary was kind of born, because I've only been doing this commentary side of it for less than a year, or kind of somewhere around that year mark. So we have still got a lot to learn in that regard. But yeah, I absolutely love doing it. It is also the lockdown, I feel, has kind of ended up, influencing what we do, because of the fact that at the moment it is very hard to find yourself a job that isn't kind of going into lockdown and changing levels. Like, unless you are pretty much a essential worker at the moment here in New Zealand, it does mean that it is very tough to try and get yourself kind of a consistent one. But now it's going to be Chase making his way out to the crease. Roston Chase it is. Does he normally bat this high up the order? He's actually got a very good spin bowler, I believe, Roston Chase, if I'm not wrong there. He did get a few wickets in the earlier stages of the year that I was watching. And also we have got there in the chat as well, there's a pretty good New Zealand, Australia and England triangle rivalry. Looking forward to it. Also, I heard that India and Sri Lanka have a bit of history between each other. Also, India and Pakistan is a massive game that neither side want to lose when that does come around. And that's going to be a warm-up game in only a little while, I believe. Actually, no, it's not going to be. It's going to be a game of the actual pool stage. But now Shadab is going to be bowling. He's a leg spinner, and he has gone for just a single, down to long off for the first shot for Chris Gale to spin. And also we have got there as well. Still can't believe we haven't won a T20 World Cup. Who knows? Maybe this year is going to be the year. I believe Australia are ranked about 7th in the world kind of T20 rankings. But I could have that number wrong. But they've got a very good side. The likes of, Stoinis. He can hit a long ball. We saw it for the Melbourne Stars when he was able to get about 150 or somewhere around there off a very small amount of balls. Also, you got Glenn Maxwell, who can hit a long ball, and then quite a few talented bowlers, the likes of a Pat Cummins or someone, a nice little spinner there, almost the googly or the wrong'un, ended up going back into Chase a little bit, but he has been able to get his first single of this match, and he is off the mark with a strike rate of 100. We have got there in there. You are very talented. Take a lot to do live streams. A big shout out to you, Hamish, as well. Thank you very much, Kevin. Hugely appreciated for your being here. Did you lose your job to COVID, says Kai? I was actually right at the stage of I was about to kind of start applying for jobs right when the first lockdown, I believe it was, kind of took place. And then from there, I've been a little bit hesitant. But luckily, when I was at high school, I did work very hard for a couple of years in terms of having a part-time job to be able to try and support myself for a little bit longer. So at this stage, I'm kind of doing this on YouTube, but I'm still pretty much spending any savings that I had to try and be able to keep on doing this as long as I possibly can. Now, it's going to be almost a little bit of a scoop shot there. So peel from Shadab, but it isn't going to be out there as well. So at the moment, just a little bit of a slow start for the West Indies. 33 for 2 off 6.4 overs. The run rate of 4.95 as well. And RIP to Sean Wainui. I saw a touching video of him teaching his son the haka as well. Very tragic. Says Kano Koinen. Yeah, it is a big shame due to the fact that he was so young as well. Only 25 years of age, I believe it was. But yeah, it is going to be a tragic one for the Chiefs and also for his family and friends because of the fact that he was quite a leader, Sean Wainui, in terms of being able to lead that haka. Once again, going for the scoop shot almost there. Or a little bit of a sweep shot from Roston Chase, and he has been able to put it down to the lee side for just the single once again. So good over from Shadab, only going for the 4. And we are outside of the power play as well, so it does mean that the West Indies, they are going to have a few more men out on the boundary to try and deal with as well. We have got their test cricket, is men's cricket as well. It says Luke, and also we've got their swerve. David Warner opens the batting. I will lose it as well, says Luke. I mean, as long as Stuart Broad's not bowling at him, he should be all right there because, of course, we know who had the better of that battle in the Ashes a little while ago, and that's going to be coming back very soon. Boxing Day Test match. I'm very much looking forward to it. Most important, Amish, do what you love, buddy, as well, says Kevin. And yeah, I have absolutely loved doing all of these live streams, no matter the hour of the day. You guys are always tuning up for them, and it does make it that much more fun as well. We have got there. Well, the West Indies are the holders of the 2016 Cup. Strong side indeed. Yeah, they've got a good set. Kind of, I guess you could say their bowling used to be something like that was probably the little bit of the worst out of the two. In terms of the batting, they were able to really just go for it and score a lot of runs. And then their bowling has consistently kind of gotten a little bit better. So because of that, it does mean that they're almost building this perfect combo, which could mean that they could get through to the semi-final depending on how they go. It is just all about the consistency. That's going to be Roston Chase hitting it down the ground. It's going to be bouncing to the Pakistani man in the outfield, Hassan. Oh, no. He said it's a 4. He must have stepped on the rope there, so it is going to be 4 runs. He is saying that it is the 4, so they are going to be going back in. Roston Chase there, hitting it down the ground for the 4 runs. Must have just felt the rope under his foot. And Hassan Ali has said that he did end up just stepping on that as well. And also we have got there, what jobs were you going to apply to? Do you think you'll go to broadcasting school with what you are doing? It's an interesting one because originally there, yeah, just unfortunately the toe just touching the line there for Hassan Ali. But yeah, originally I didn't actually go into the situation of commentary or anything along those lines. I hadn't really thought about it as something that I could do for kind of a career or anything along those lines. It was more going to be something to do with either tourism or helping people in some way, kind of were the ones that I really wanted to be able to go down that line of. But yeah, now maybe broadcasting could be in the future as well. A lot of questions tonight as well. Says Ovie Snake. I do enjoy it though, because of the fact that with it being cricket, it is a little bit slower paced in terms of compared to a rugby game, because of the fact that I don't have to say about 15 names per set kind of phases or anything like that. So it does mean we've got more time to just get a chat going as well. Also, we have got there, we need a cricket mascot in the background. I do indeed. I've only got Kieran at the moment, who is the All Blacks. Oh, Chris Gale had to hit that one, or else that was going to be possibly a very loud LBW shout. But Hafiz at the moment, first 3 balls of his over, going for the 4 runs. He will not be too happy about that very first one that did end up going to the boundary due to the foot on the rope. And now Chris Gale once again on strike. He's watching the ball nicely, hitting it down too long off, and that is going to be another single there for the West Indies. So at the moment, Roston Chase is the only batter who has been able to go at more than 100 for his strike rate. So they have to make sure that they can try and keep that going and try and build their total. I feel like at this stage, on the ground that they're at, I'd say 140 or so could be pretty hard to be able to chase down, depending on how Pakistan can bat for this one. I look forward to Boxing Day sales and to Sydney, or the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, more than the Boxing Day test as well, says Luke. And also we've got there, are you looking forward to the next America's Cup, says Obi Snake. I wasn't really watching every single America's Cup race. I know that I watched quite a few of the later stages kind of ones. But yeah, it is very entertaining, and the dynamics of the boat, or kind of the way that they work, is just very interesting for kind of the science behind it, in terms of the fact that they just kind of propel themselves off the ground or off the water and kind of look like they're floating a little bit. I remember playing stick cricket during computer class as well in high school. That is an awesome game, stick cricket. I remember it as well. You used to be able to kind of add your name, and you could actually customize your whole team on there. And believe it or not, I actually played a game on mobile a little while ago, which was stick cricket, and you kind of build yourself up through the international rankings and everything like that. It's a very fun game, and you can sign actual cricketers to your side. Which, yeah, at that stage, I think I was playing that game very, very often indeed. And also, we have got there, has Michael Hooper hit a 6 yet? As well, says the Rugby Down Under podcast. Not quite. He seems to still be just waiting a little bit longer, perhaps, for this one. And watching Lyon versus Toulouse, huge victory for Lyon. First loss to Toulouse, 3 tries against 1. Yeah, it was a very impressive game. I actually ended up staying up all night, or till that game was finished as well. I wanted to see Joshua Tuasova in that midfield for Toulon. He had a beautiful offload in the end that did lead to the try. I believe that was the second try that they were able to score, but wasn't quite able to get himself over the line himself. But very talented player, Tuasova, and it was pretty awesome seeing him in action as well. But at the stage, 8.1 overs gone, 41 for 2, so a little bit of a slow start with a run rate of just over 5 at the moment. Oh, it's a beautiful delivery, Shadab. Thought it was decent, but I believe there must have been just a little bit of bat on that because that looked pretty close to being an LBW. We're just going to see the replay here, Shadab, but you ended up putting it on. Oh, yes, there must have just been the inside edge, you would think. Now, once again, whipping it away to the leg side there, Roston Chase, but it is going to be in the deep, and it is going to be thrown in once again there, going out to a kind of like a wide on, I guess you could say, for that one as well. We have got their low kick. We used to play in our hallway with little bats and balls. Yes, I also went through that stage, although I could never find the little bat. Once I had lost the little bat, I was very sad because I think I got 2 of them, and I have no idea where either of them are at the moment, but that was a lot of fun as well. You used to be able to do it with the little ball and also the little mini stumps as well. And depending on how big your hallway was, yeah, it could be a lot of fun. Now it's going to be Gale hitting it down to the leg side there. It's just going to be another dot ball. So far, Pakistan have been doing very well with stopping the West Indies from being able to get any real momentum going. They are ranked 3rd at the moment on the T20 world rankings. And then West Indies, I believe they are 9th. But they would still have the ability. Oh, that was a little bit of a rough ball there from Shadab, and it is going to be a wide. Chris Gale not able to get that one as well. Salman has said, you're looking well. Thank you very much, mate. I am excited for this Cricket World Cup. We are at the warm-up stage, but there is going to be some very good cricket coming up in the near future in terms of the game a little bit later on, 3 a.m. We are going to be watching the game between the Black Caps and Australia. Chris Gale tries to get hold of that one, hits the pad instead. And now because of it, Shadab putting him under a little bit of pressure, and you can see the frustration perhaps starting to creep into Chris Gale because of the fact he is sitting 8 off 14, but he can change that with just 1 ball. It's not going to be that one. Instead, hitting it down to fine leg, and once again, that is going to be a dot ball. 43 for 2 after the 9 overs so far. To be honest, I reckon India will win it, says Luke, and yeah, they are certainly one of the favourites, if not the favourite. I know that England are also right up there as they are ranked the number 1 T20 team in the world. Chris Gale actually calling for a new bat. He's going, this one's not hitting it to the boundary. So I would like another, please. But at this stage, Shaheen having the most runs scored off him, 16 runs, but he did get the wicket early on in the power play. Also, Ahmad has been bowling phenomenally, only going for 3 runs off his 2 overs, 1.5 for his economy, and 2 for Hassan as well, who has bowled the 1 over with the 4 dot balls, and he was able to pick himself up the wicket as well. And Obi Snake, no backyard cricket in your neighbourhood as well, says Kate Guy. And also we have got there, is the game on TV, says Obi Snake. It is indeed. It is on Sky Sports Select for this matchup. And then also at the same time, it is Ireland's versus the Netherlands. And at the moment, Netherlands are sitting 39 for 2 after 7.3 of their 20 overs. And they are fighting for a position in the Super 12 that we will get to see them and also 3 other teams be kind of added in. And I believe at this stage, Australia, they have got the first match that I know of in terms of the teams that are playing today. It's going to be Roston Chase now, whipping it away to the leg side once again to deep mid-wicket. And it is only the single there. Chris Gale now going to be on strike once again. Chris Gale was a GOAT at the Melbourne Renegades as well. Says, look, yeah, he can just hit the ball anywhere he wants, Chris Gale, when he does get going. And I believe he was in the IPL as well very recently for one of the sides. And he is still, anytime that his eye is in and he is able to just strike the ball well, he can get himself 50 and only around 15 balls if he needs to as well. Hafiz now going to be bowling it to him. Chris Gale just blocking though. So having a lot of respect for these Pakistani bowlers to not try and hit them away for the wrong ball. He is making sure that he picks the right one because we know he's got the power, so he can just hit it anywhere. I remember when he got 50 balls or 50 runs from 12 balls or something as well. Yeah, I believe does he still have the record for that? Going to be hitting it now out to cover. It's going to be once again the yes-no. And at this stage, Chase doesn't really know whether to try and commit to that single, as it seems like Chris Gale, he is going to be sitting there and trying to have that strike as long as he can. There was only wrestling and bare knuckle boxing in the hallways of Moscow as well, says Sebastian. Geez, that sounds like a brutal one. Hitting it straight back down the round from Gale, and once again, it's a dot ball. So this will be frustrating the big man a little bit here, sitting on 8 of 18. And also, yeah, definitely backyard, but sometimes the rain came down as well, says Obi Snake. Oh, well bowled, and it's another single. It's another dot ball. Chris Gale's last 10 balls, he's only hit 2 runs, sitting on 8 of 19 so far. He was able to get himself a boundary early on in his innings, but he's going to need another one very soon because at the moment, this current run rate is only sitting at 4.47. Hitting it now, not able to find the gap. Brilliant over there from Hafiz, only going for the 1. And now West Indies, after their 10 overs, are sitting 44 for 2. So I said 140 might be the target on this wicket. If they are to do that, they need to more than double their run rate that they have got at the moment to be able to get it going. But I assume if you did play a little bit of backyard cricket, Obi Snake, you would have possibly, did you mow into the pitch or like mow a pitch in your backyard? I feel like that is something that a lot of people did end up doing as well. Did you play backyard cricket when you were a kid? Were you any good as well, says K Kai. I did play a little bit of backyard cricket. I also ended up, I believe the latest that I played cricket was about year 9. And I actually ended up getting into the South Canterbury development team for kind of this region, which was pretty awesome because of the fact that we did get to go away for a tournament and that kind of thing as well. But I was decent, but I never really got, I guess you could say I was a little bit of an all-rounder. I also did a little bit of keeping, but I probably just didn't quite have the confidence to go out there and just swing. I feel like I overthought every shot that I was going to play, so then it did kind of hinder me a little bit in terms of the amount of runs that I was getting. Yeah, definitely backyard, but sometimes the rain came down as well, says Obi Snake. And also he went to Otara High. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And also we have it there, the Hamish emojis from Crazy NZ. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing all right this evening. We have got the game between the Black Caps and Australia. That's going to be kicking off at 3 a.m. and we are going to be up for that game as well. Yeah, he does have it still. But I reckon Marcus Stoinis and Glenn Maxwell can beat that record this BBL season coming. Because, I mean, Marcus Stoinis, I remember that game. I'm trying to remember who it was up against. Unfortunately, can't remember the opponent. But Marcus Stoinis, he scored an incredible amount of runs at the MCG in an incredibly short amount of time as well. And in the end, I believe he was trying to go for the either double 100 or the 150, but couldn't quite get there in the end. But very impressive player, Marcus Stoinis. And the big Stoin, if he gets going for these matches of the IPL, not the IPL, of the T20 World Cup, perhaps that's what Australia will need to be able to help them go. Cricket doesn't kick off as well, says Arabi Down Under podcast. I believe I've said kick off about 5 times so far because of the fact that, unfortunately, still in the rugby mode at this stage. But we are, after 10 overs at the moment, 44 runs off just the 2 wickets, or I should say just 2 wickets as well. I was probably against the Thunder. I still remember him doing it as well, says Luke. Yeah, I know I was at the MCG. And he was just smacking the ball everywhere. I believe it was actually, it might have been, was it Hanscom? No, it wasn't Hanscom. I'm trying to think of who it was for the Melbourne Stars, but then there was another player at the MCG who actually hit the longest 6 they have had there in a very, very long time. I'm trying to think of him. He's got a massive neck. Who's that guy for them? Is it Hanscom? No, it's not Hanscom, I don't believe. Who is it? I can see his face. Literally, I could probably tell you exactly what his face looks like, but that doesn't help us out. We need a name as well. And also, we have got there Sean Wainui, the guy off the Viral Hog video as well. Says Smithy. Also, we have got there. I was in first 11 at Timaru Boys High School and also played for South Canterbury for a few years. Says Obi Snake there. And now at this stage, it is going to be Ahmad will once again be bowling, only going for the 3 runs of his first 2 overs. And now trying to hit it through the gap at covers Chase, I should say. Not quite able to get that one through, though. So at the moment, the West Indies, they are being put under a lot of pressure here to try and get themselves that run rate up just a little bit higher. But it's not really working out for them so far. It's going to be, okay, now Chase is trying to hit the ball hard, and it is going to be taken, and he is out. Freedy taking the catch down at long on, and now it does mean that the West Indies is going to be 3 down for 44. And it is going to be a little bit of a rough one for Chase to just not quite get going. He actually had the highest strike rate almost out of any player, sitting 9 from 13 balls, but he is going to be going back to the sheds here. Just tried to swing, just didn't get enough of it Wrong left ball for it, unfortunately for him, and he is going to be on his way. We have got New Zealand to have needs to have a proper cricket ground like the MCG as well, says KK. I believe our closest thing, is it Hagley Oval that they'd say is probably, but then it hasn't really got the stadium kind of thing around it, because I know that they play at Eden Park, but it's a little bit of a weird shaped one at Eden Park when they do end up kind of going with it. Now it's going to be Hetmeyer making his way out to the crease. He can hit a long ball, and he's going to need to, because they really need to make sure that they get this run rate starting to go up here for the West Indies if they want to be able to tick over 120, which I feel like maybe be a minimum up against the Pakistani bowlers. And also, when they send out their batters, they've got some very talented players as well who were able to win a couple of those matches on New Zealand soil that I can remember from a little while ago. I believe it was around Christmas time that was taking place, almost the last commentary for a cricket game that we did do on the channel as well. Isn't rugby and cricket played in the same stadium in New Zealand, says KK? In some kind of regions it is. So the likes of Eden Park, they play games for cricket and also for the rugby. Sky Stadium. Oh, does Sky Stadium have any cricket? I don't think they actually do, actually. Where else do we have cricket that is played kind of at the same ground? I'm trying to think through the locations. It might just be Eden Park, but now Chris Gale hitting it back down the ground for just the one. Once again, down to long off. He is sitting on 9 off 21 at the moment. And also playing D-grade club cricket is fun as well, says Luke. And yeah, there's probably quite a few loose balls that you can go after if you're a batter, or probably quite a few wickets to be had if you are going to be having a bit of a bowl as well. New Plymouth has Pukekura Park as well. Smallest boundaries in New Zealand, says Obi Snake, because I know that Eden Park's always a little bit of a weird shape ground because of the fact you're almost playing on that kind of rugby pitch layout rather than being able to get yourself into that kind of other region kind of thing. That was a weird sentence. That didn't quite work out at this stage, but they are showing now is average at the moment 20 runs almost for Shimron Hetmeyer, sorry. 61 is his best. He's going to need that today, I have a feeling, if they do want to be able to get themselves a win here. We have got their Basin Reserve as well. And Basin Reserve. Oh, that's going to be a good hit through the covers just for the one for Hetmeyer, but he's already going out there and looking aggressive in the early stages of this matchup. Now at this stage, they're already almost up to the middle order here, but they have still got, it will be Kyron Pollard who will have an opportunity at getting himself some runs here in the later stages of this game, depending on when he gets a chance. But now Chris Gale, once again, he's going to be just a block there. Armada able to dive to his side and stop that ball, so it's another dot ball. At the moment, Pakistan bowling incredibly well at the moment. Chris Gale sitting on 9 runs off 22, only having the one boundary so far. It was the 4 earlier on in this game. Now Ahmad once again has been bowling incredibly well so far. Chris Gale tries to hit it down the ground. It is just going to be the single down to long on, and that's going to be another very good over from Ahmad, only going for 1 for 6 off his 3 overs. It's hit these stumps as well by the looks of that one there. Now, after 11 overs, it is going to be 43 points. Or sorry, not 43 points, 43 runs for 3 for Pakistan's. Increasingly putting the pressure on. That was almost a sentence as well. We have got there no in their chat there as well. But at this stage now, 4.27 is the run rate. They need to try and work their way up here a little bit more, the West Indies. The rest are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Also, we have got there, do you think they will, you'll specialise in rugby or cricket or both? Or do you cover all sports? If you're going, if so, are you covering the FIFA World Cup? Says KK. So mainly on the channel at the moment, we have been doing rugby, but with the Cricket World Cup, we are going to be doing a little bit more of that. And also we are in that situation of, I'm hoping to be able to, I'm going to be doing the KFC Big Bash as another competition that we are going to be doing on the channel as well. So I am going to be doing rugby, cricket, and I'm actually kind of keen on doing something along the lines of the FIFA World Cup, possibly, as I've been watching a little bit more football than I used to over the last little while as well. We have got there, Spammer says overstaken. Also, talking cricket or taking cricket seriously serious is not fun at all for me as well, says Luke. I feel like a lot of people do just enjoy going down, having a hit, and then kind of going home after that as well. But now at this stage, it is going to be in there. Have you got a team in the BBL, says Luke? Due to the fact that I'm from New Zealand, I kind of end up, I guess you could say, teeter-tottering a little bit more in that one. So I'd say one of my favourites. I quite enjoy watching the Melbourne Stars play because of the fact that they've got Stoinis, they've got Maxi as well. That's a good backwards cut, but it is going to be now still in the field of play, and it was well fielded by the man in the outfield, and it's just going to be kept to the 2 runs for Hetmeyer there. It's Chris Gale. He doesn't really like running threes. So it was a decent shot out through point and Hetmeyer straight away. He's looking a little bit aggressive as well. We have got there here. We go again with the spammers. Again, I'm here. Hamish, worry not as well. Says Sebastian. And also we have got there Shame on Austria murdering Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Ferdinand. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, but I have not heard that story as well. Do you not know cover New Zealand domestic crickets? As well, says Kay Kai. I have been considering it because I know that the 50 over cricket is coming up very soon, but I believe at this stage, in terms of our cricket commentary, it will probably only be 2020 because of the fact that or else you're looking at around that 8-hour mark. And I end up talking very, very quickly at times, so then my voice will be completely gone. It's going to be a shot at the stumps, though. Not able to get it there, and it is just a single, though. And Chris Gale able to get himself his first run in a little while. He's just trying to get it marching forward here for the West Indies. 52 for 3 at the moment after 11.4. And also we've got their Serbian nationalist group to be exact as well, says Toilet Smithy as well. So yeah, sorry, I'm not too sure about the politics behind that kind of thing. And now at this stage, Hafiz once again going to have the dot ball there in the chat as well. But at this stage, Pakistan, they need to make sure that they keep this pressure on, because if they do, they could be stopping the West Indies from getting themselves maybe around 110 or so, which you would think would be an easy win, but we will have to wait and see. Maybe the ball's just not quite coming onto the bat too nicely. But now it's going to be another single for Hetmeyer, going 5 from 5 so far, and after 12 overs, 53 for 3 as well. We have got their World War I, the assassination pretty much marked it, along with secret alliances, bro. British should have got rolled as well, says Smithy Todd. And also we have got there, I'm hoping Kyle Jamieson has a big game. Freak athlete, he is indeed very tall, and it does end up kind of making it a little bit tough. Yeah, we're going to see how it goes in terms of the fact that he can bounce that ball up a little bit higher than other people can, and it's a deceptive angle because of the fact there's not too many people as tall as him playing the cricket at the moment. Definitely not for the Black Caps, so does mean that it's a very talented one as well. But Austria-Hungary, we're bloody useless as well, says Smithy. Also we have got there, all right, I'm going to go to keep the spammers away, see mate, as well, says Luke. And also we have got there, Luke Parmita told me to spam as well from Bite there. But yeah, at this stage, you might have to, well, if they keep on, they've kind of singled you out, Luke, once again. And anytime we have those spammers, they always seem to choose you, which is kind of a weird situation because we have got Smithy Toilet K Kai in the chat as well. But each time they do go for Luke. But at this stage, Hassan so far having the 1 over, only going for the 2 runs, and also has been able to get himself the wicket as well. But Chris Gale, he's not going to be on strike. And also we have got there, do something about it, Luke. It's not cool. As well, says Sebastian there. And also we've got there, no, I didn't. As well, says Luke. And now at this stage, it is going to be Hetmeyer who is going to be on strike. He's getting the helmet out. He didn't have it for the spinner, but he is definitely going to need it for Hassan. He's rocking actually the blue here at the moment. It's very blue as well for Hetmeyer. Right, Pakistan now, mate. They are randoms. I have no clue who they are as well, says Luke there. And also we have got the overstakers with the laughing emoji there in the chat as well. But 4.42 as the run rate. We'll have to wait and see how it goes now. Hetmeyer, they are saying that maybe, you know, he's got to get his arms free, but if they keep on bowling a straight line to him, he's not going to be able to free those arms. It's going to be a very tough one for him to be able to get his way through. A few more runs for his side. He needs to probably almost move on to 50 here at the end of this innings if they do want a decent chance. Him or Gale need to go for the half century and really speed it up because they've still got wickets in hand. They've got 7 left to be able to go out there and just try and increase this run rate. I got the jabby. I'm not feeling well, guys, as well. Says Obi Snake, was that your first or your second one? Obi, do let me know. And at this stage, Chris Gale, he is going to be on strike. 25 balls that man has faced. Only the 12 runs so far. And also we have got there in the chat with the laughing emoji as well. But now at this stage, it is going to be Hassan hitting it to the leg side, out to deep mid wicket now was Chris Gale. They might even decide to run 2 here. Yes, they do indeed. Good running from Chris Gale. He doesn't go up and down the pitch as quick as he used to, but he is still able to get back and forth there as well. Also, we have got, they haven't got the vaccine yet, bro. As well, says Smithy John. Also, okay, bye. Says it, Luke. We will see you later, mate. And also, do you think having crowds makes a difference in terms of watching sport? Says K Kai. I would say it certainly makes the atmosphere a lot more fun, depending on whether or not, like, if you're actually at the ground, if there's 50 people there compared to having like 20,000 or something, you can really feel the difference in terms of how much it kind of hypes up your side. Chris Gale with a great shot through cover there, and he is going to be able to get himself the 4 runs. Now moving up onto 18. Yeah, it was just a very nice one. Straight out through cover. Chris Gale frees the arms. And they were saying about Hetmeyer, you can't afford to give him the space. Chris Gale, probably even worse in that regard. First one been sick for a few days as well, says Obi Snake. So yeah, have you contacted them about kind of what to do in that position, Obi? But now at this stage, it is going to be hit out through the covers once again. It's going to be a run out opportunity. But Chris Gale able to make his way through. Now at this stage, Asani is going to be sitting on 1 for 10. So he's gone for a few more runs this over than he did in his first couple. But at this stage, it is a total of 8 so far off the first 4 balls. So they're starting to up this run rate here, West Indies, and they need to make sure that they keep on going as well. And also we have got there, Luke, tell him to like the video and subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow as well. Says Sebastian there as well. Although I believe, if I'm not wrong, I did just have a look, and I'm not sure whether or not it is coincidence or not, but maybe a few of those spammers have clicked that unsubscribe button, or it could just be maybe a few of our rugby ones as well. We're going back down a little bit, but that is all right, because of the fact we are going to be covering a lot more channel or cricket on the channel in the future as well. It's going to be whipped away to the league side, and now it's just once again going to be the single for Hetmeyer. Just 1 ball left of the 13th over now. Boxing Day cricket on this year as well, says Kay Kai. It is indeed. It is going to be, it will be, I believe, I know that Australia are playing England for the Boxing Day Test match. I'm not too sure whether or not anyone else is, though, for around there. They're actually going to be doing it for the Ashes, which is pretty awesome, because I absolutely love watching the Ashes a couple years ago when it was in England, but now we have got it in Australia, so hopefully it will be a good competition. Oh, it's a Yorker attempt there. Almost the first Yorker we've seen throughout this match as well, but it is going to be whipped away to the league. So Chris Gale able to get himself the single, and now at this stage, after the 13 over, 63 for Pakistan, or sorry, for West Indies, with the 3 wickets down. So they are still going to have to keep on increasing that run rate. They've been able to get themselves a total of 10 runs in that over, which is a very good start if they do want to work their way towards around that 120 or so, because it may be the minimum that they will need for this matchup. But so far we can see 43 dots, 26 ones, 3 2s, 6 4s, no 6s yet. But with Chris Gale at the crease, and also he can hit a long ball. So with both of those men out there, maybe we will have a 6 just around the corner. And I will ask the question in the chat as well, yes or no, are we going to get to see a 6 in this one throughout this match? Crowds, Australia is in lockdown right as well, says K-High. I believe, if I'm not wrong, I heard somewhere around December they are actually going to be switching it up and having it that the borders are going to be open in some regions of Australia, which may mean they're allowed some crowds, because for the games of the Rugby Championship in Australia, I believe the lowest they were allowed was 75% attendance. So if that is the case and it continues that way, maybe they'll be able to have a few at wherever that game is going to be played. Harris Ralph has bowled Chris Gale there, and that is going to be the wicket for Pakistan. And Harris Ralph has been able to pick up his man, Chris Gale, 20 runs off 30 balls. And now they are going to be in a little bit of trouble there, keeping the 6s for the Super 12 as well. And also we have to then, it's pretty sad that they have the time to consistently harass me and you guys every time I join the stream as well, says Luke there. But yeah, it seems to be only when they kind of see you, Luke. So I'm not sure whether or not you do say it's not your friends, but I would think the reason that they keep on picking you out is because maybe they know you is kind of the best guess there. And also we have got there, so Hamish still having problems, says I'm banned. Really weird, says Mark. That is very strange, although I can see your message now, so hopefully it will keep on having them come through. But it is very strange. We're not really sure what happened yesterday. Actually, yeah, it just says message retracted. But I can see your message just then, Mark. So hopefully, if you do put the messages in, I should say, I will be able to read them right when they come through. But it's kind of strange because of the fact I'm not sure whether or not it's kind of a restriction due to the location that you are, because no one has kind of clicked that ban button or anything along those lines for you. And also, once again, we have got another one saying that Luke is the best. You got a bit of a fan club, Luke, by the sounds of it. We don't have anyone going such as like an Obi. Obi is the best in the chat. And also we have got the no marker message got retracted again. So yeah, hopefully we don't end up in that situation of having all of his messages kind of disappearing. But if they do, hopefully I'll be able to see them just before he does have them erased there. But Harris Ralph, he's been able to pick up the wicket of Chris Gale. And now at this stage, it does mean that they're going to be into the middle order now. It's going to be Nicholas Puran will be getting the opportunity. 26 years of age. He is a left-handed batsman as well. I don't really want one as well, says it was Luke. And also we've got the these bots are like flies. Remember back in the childhood as well. I'll tell you what, it keeps on moving as well. We have got there Where have we got there? It keeps on moving very quickly at the moment. Says Kiwi Lad says, banned you for inappropriate material. Says Mark, I don't believe that would be the case because of the fact that I don't think normally the thing is with the chat as well. It actually just came up with your message there. And normally with kind of chat and everything like that, I think if it was banned, it wouldn't actually have you kind of coming through my chat on the live streaming software. So that is very confusing at the moment. But normally in the chat, it does say such as if someone has been blocked or anything along those lines, it would mean that it kind of says that they are blocked type thing, which is weird that it does have you still here if that was the case kind of thing. And also we have got these bots that likes flies. Whenever flies are around you, apparently you smell it. And also, is there anyone that you ban because they're not in the spirit of the channel as well, says KKI. I don't think we've got too many banned accounts. It's more just the ones who do try and spam and kind of abuse the people in the chat that we try and get rid of because of the fact that it is kind of just a bit sad that they do it as well. Are you mammy? If it gets the point, if it gets to the point as well, says Luke, and also Luke, I mean, best YouTube channel as well. You haven't even got any videos, do you, Luke, yet? Maybe that's what they want. Maybe you've got a bit of a fan club who are waiting for you to bring out your first video, but you haven't done it yet, so they are disappointed in that regard. But at this stage now, 65 runs for the West Indies. Just 2 singles. Harris Ralph being able to pick himself up the first wicket. He's a very talented bowler, Harris Ralph. Huge amount of pace as well. Now at this stage, the West Indies, they are sitting 4 down at the moment, so they're going to make sure they don't lose too many more. Now I am being removed. No. Now I am being removed. No, as well, says Mark. I can still see your messages though, Mark. Which just seemed kind of weird because if you were, that was almost chopped onto the stumps there for Puran on his second ball of facing as well. Tell your friends to grow up and stop swearing as well, says David there. But yeah, pretty much, Mark, if with your messages still showing up, yeah, with your messages still coming up, it seems kind of weird in that regard. Yeah, it seems very strange indeed, Mark, that it is doing it as well. And also we have got there, are they not my mates? I asked them, David, as well there in the chat. Now at this stage we have got there, I can't see Mark's messages as well at all. Not just rejected and stop it as well, says David. Although it was actually, if it is Mark from the other day, Mark, or sorry, from if it was Mark from the other day, David, he was having a problem with his kind of connection in Mongolia, I believe it was. So hopefully he is able to keep himself kind of on it. But he is actually not a spammer. He is one of the guys who were watching a few of the live streams a little bit earlier on. And what kind of music do you listen to? I kind of end up, I've got myself, it's called a 100-hour power tower. I've got it, and pretty much it is just a whole heap of songs from all kinds of regions as well. Or not regions, kind of all kinds of genres that it just plays. It's Mark as well, says Obi Snake. I don't believe it is Mark. I believe Mark is the one from Mongolia who was kind of on the live stream. So he actually has been here for a few of the Northern Hemisphere games as well, kind of from the mid-year. But now at this stage, West Indies, that is the end of the over, and it's 3 dot balls to finish that one for Harris Ralph. But yeah, we will have to wait and see. Hello, Luke. Good to see you. So AJ is also going to be the spammer more than likely for this one as well. And there we go. It's going through once again. I will actually ask the question because I know you will be back in just a moment, AJ. How many accounts have you got, out of curiosity? Because I'm wondering about the commitment levels and whether or not they are strong enough to continue kind of making them more of them. But at this stage now, the umpire just having a bit of a conversation with the Pakistan player. I came here for a chat and now not to be a spammer or be harassed as well, says Luke there. But now at this stage, it is going to be Hetmeyer, who will be getting himself a new bat. I can see Mark chat as well, says Obi Snake. So yeah, it seems very weird that he did end up kind of ending up disappearing, and now he's coming back, I think. But I believe he is not a spammer, Mark. We have had him from a few of the other ones. You seem like someone who listens to country music as well, says KKI. There's probably a few country songs in that kind of, I believe there's a 1,600 song playlist that I have got that I kind of listen to while I'm editing and doing all that kind of thing. John Denver, Willie Nelson as well, says KKI. I'm trying to think whether or not I can name any songs that are in that playlist. That's going to be a little bit lofty there. And they're going to be trying to run the quick 2. Yeah, West Indies only getting the single down to long on once again. Also, we have got there, can't you do that thing where you ban their location as well? Says, look, we are still in talks with YouTube about that kind of thing because they are going to be working out kind of where it's come from. But yeah, it is one of those ones that more than likely, like, It doesn't happen too often, and the only time that it happens, they are talking about you, Luke, even if you're not in the chat as well. So I would say more than likely you do know them because they saw, well, they actually started spamming, I believe, before your name was in the chat. So that tells us that they know you on some sort of level that they've decided that you're the one that they want to go for. And also, I believe Mark is spamming. He must have blocked me because I'm a mod, so I can't see his messages as well. Says Sebastian. Also, we've got there crazy as well. And do you have a Spotify playlist? I believe I do. I have it on Spotify, although I haven't actually shared it or anything along those lines as well. You seem like someone who listens to 6ix9ine as well, says Crazy NZ. But yeah, I don't know whether or not, I don't know whether or not we have got any of those ones in there for 6ix9ine. I don't know whether I can name any of the songs a little crazy as well, says Obi Snake. And also we have got there, now it's going to be a big swing and a miss there from it was Pakistan. And also they probably know me from BKR channel. It's not me, honestly, as well, says Luke. I know that it's not you personally, but I would say more than likely it is someone who knows you. So I don't know whether or not you've annoyed someone in the past that's decided that they're going to just try and follow you everywhere that you go, or whether it's something else along those lines. But now at this stage, 6 dot ball so far for Hassan Ali. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it does end up going. But Hetmeyer at the moment, 9 from 9 for him. Puran on strike, and he is going to be hitting it out through the cover. It's not going to be a single, though. Or yes, they were able to just shuffle through for the one. But at the moment, West Indies, once again, they're going to be kept down 660 as well, says KK. I believe there are a few 660 songs in there. The Greatest, I believe, is one of those ones in there. Probably White Lines, I would say, is probably in that one as well. Now, at this stage, I would say Pakistan, after 14.4 overs of keeping them to less than a 5 run rate, they would be very happy with that performance so far. To be able to just keep on going now. It's going to be a big swing and a miss, or did he get a little bit of it? They are appealing, and it is going to be out. Is it? Are they going upstairs? No, it's a wicket. It is going to be Hetmeyer, and he is going to be on his way once again. And yeah, unfortunately, it does mean that it is going to be another wicket here. Hetmeyer tries to swing, so no review in this match I have just seen as well. So that is why we are in the position of it being awarded as a wicket. And Pakistan able to pick themselves up another. They are doing very well throughout this match to be able to just keep on building up the pressure here. And it does mean that now they are down to the middle order, maybe even starting to get towards that lower order here. Oh, okay, he is giving a massive chain to one of the players here, one of the West Indian batters, the man making his way to the crease there. But unfortunately for him, Hetmeyer is going to be on his way. Very heavy gold, Jay, they are saying as well. Nice house. Is this your house as well? Says KK. Actually, it is my parents' house. So pretty much I'm in the lounge at the moment in the corner. But yeah, the lounge, the rest of it is kind of over there. Although that chair does not look as nice as I guess you could say the rest of the lounge. But pretty much, yeah, I'm in my lounge in the corner. But we are looking at trying to move into a little bit of a studio type kind of arrangement because I have actually got a green screen, but I hardly use it as well, which is a bit of a shame there. But Hetmeyer, he is actually still going to be at the crease. They've actually said that that was not a wicket, which is a little bit of an interesting one. They've gone upstairs, I guess you could say, but they've actually just had a little bit of a chat with each of the kind of umpires, and they've decided that it was not a wicket. So Hetmeyer not on his way here. And it does mean that after 15 overs, Pakistan have been able to restrict West Indies 68 for 4. So it's a very, very good bowling from the Pakistanis, and they haven't really been giving them too many opportunities here. We've seen so far, I don't believe there's been anyone with over 100 strike rate for West Indies. And if that continues, they are going to be struggling to get themselves towards that 120 mark that I mentioned, which might have to be enough. We'll just have to wait and see. Pakistan, though, they will be moving into this game, and they will be well and truly the favourite because of the fact they've got a very talented batting lineup as well. When we do see it, Baba Azam is the captain. Mohammad Rizwan, he was phenomenal up against the Black Caps around December time or somewhere around there. And also, I mean, they've got other players who can bat as well. So Pakistan at the moment in the box seat for this one as well. We have got there, Luke. You told us you're going like 3 times. Luke is sus as well, says Obi Snake. And also we have got there in the chat as well. Easy win for Pakistan, says Kevin. And yeah, at the moment it does seem like it is going to be relatively likely for them to be able to hang on. But Afridi now, the slow ball, very nicely bowled. And Hetmeyer swung through, missed the ball as well. And now it does mean that it is going to be once again another dot ball as well. Everyone vote Luke Imposter as well, says Obi Snake there. Now at this stage, They are just saying whether or not there was a little bit of a noise. They are saying that there was a little bit of a noise from the chain, I believe it actually was. Because of that one, also we've got there, hey Amish, hope you're well, brother. Usually here for the rugby, don't mind cricket. I used to play it as well, says Steve Smith. And you would have been loving the fact that Scotland were able to get themselves the win over Bangladesh, mate, because of the fact that it was very impressive. And they are now possibly moving their way towards kind of qualifying for that later stage of the Cricket World Cup, I guess you could say. But yeah, it is great to see you here, mate, for this late night live stream. We are currently sitting 12:10 a.m. here in New Zealand. So I assume for yourself, you must be sitting at 7 or so a.m. And Australia are going to be playing in a very short moment. In 3 hours' time, they are going to be taking on New Zealand in what should be a very exciting game. But at the moment, Pakistan are just showing their class of the bowling lineup because the fact that there hasn't really been too many bowlers who have been leaking too many points. Okay, it seems to be the issue from Mongolia. I'm using VPN. Hopefully it works as well, says Mark. Yeah, so it does seem like you are back. So anyone in the chat as well, make sure not to block Mark or anything like that, and we will see whether or not it does end up playing out and does let him stay on the chat for a little bit longer. Yeah, it's going to be our Freddie once again with the wide down the leg side. Just not quite getting the radar right. Hopefully, or can't wait. Australia Black Caps. I'm shouting Black Caps definitely as well, says Kevin. And also, I am not a spammer, says Mark. And I know that everyone will think that sounds like something a spammer would say, but it is not Mark. Mark is all good. And yeah, hopefully it does help you with the VPN, mate. And also news to me, low cricket seen as an English sport in Scotland. But we will take it as well. And why do you think New Zealand's rugby is strong compared to the rest of the world? I think because of the fact that it is our main sport, and also we seem to be able to just build up some very talented players. And kind of there's this domestic competition, the Bunnings NBC. Everyone at this stage in that competition has the potential of being able to move on to Super Rugby or something along those lines, and then maybe to the All Blacks in the future. But yeah, they are certainly heaps and heaps of talent in New Zealand. Hello, Kiwi lads as well, says David. Welcome in, mate. And Mark is good, says David there. I can see Mark's messages. Apologies for accusing you, brother. I couldn't see your messages. I thought you had blocked me as well, says Sebastian. So yeah, maybe VPN is the way to go, Mark. So it could be something to do with Mongolia, I guess. What are the rules around YouTube? There, do let me know. But now Freddie once again going to be running in. Has already got the 1 wicket so far. That one's once again off to the leg side. And it's going to be another wide here. 3 in this over so far from Sheehan. Freddie needs to make sure that he does get this one. Needs to get this one a little bit more accurate. Also, we have got their good genes, them Kiwis as well. Says Wise One. Yeah, they've certainly got a lot of young, talented players coming up through the ranks. And also those more experienced veterans. I actually saw Lima Sapawanga get an opportunity for Lyon yesterday for the last kind of few moments of that game, which is a name that I haven't really heard in a little while. And also overseas, talking about players, I believe Fikatoa, unfortunately, out with a season-ending injury. But Freddie, once again, that one's a little bit more accurate, but it's right in the slot. And that's a massive shot from Puran. That's the first 6 of the game for the West Indies. And maybe it is not going to be the last, because that was a brilliant shot straight down the ground as well. How is New Zealand soccer national team? How rate them as well, says Kevin. I don't believe we're great. I want to say maybe we're around like 40th in the world, but I'm not too sure whether or not that is the case. We have us got there. Do you think a Bunning squad can beat a Japanese top league team? Says Kai. It's a tough one. It depends on the Japanese side. But I would say the likes of a Taranaki at the moment, they are playing some phenomenal rugby. So I would say that it's probably not a terrible shout thinking that they would be able to beat a Japanese top league team. But saying that, the Japanese top league, they've got a lot of international players who are in that competition as well. And also, internet is somewhat restricted here, says Mark. And also, we have got there, Mark, can you do Mongolian throat music as well, says Obi Snake? That is an interesting question there. Indeed. But now at this stage, Puran able to get the first 6 of the day. Is there going to be another one? We will have to wait and see. Could he do 2 in a row? Tell you what, Sheehan Freddie is under the most pressure that any bowler has been under for this match so far. It was just straight down the ground. It was in the slot. Puran well and truly put the arms through the ball and hit it right down the ground. But Sheehan Freddie now has got the opportunity to try and get himself back with a dot ball perhaps. It's a full toss, and now it's going to be out to the leg side by Puran, but it's out to the man at deep mid wicket, who was able to cut it off and just keep it to the single as well. I know I can't as well, says Mark. And also we have got you need to reach the state of Washington soon, mate. And also, what do you know about Mongolia as well, says Kai. Oh yeah, this stage Puran doing decently to be able to get them back into a little bit of that kind of strike rate going upwards. They're on 79 at the moment. They've got just over the run rate of 5. And also we have got there is excited when I watched you Kiwi lads as well, says David David. So that is great news, mate. As long as we're exciting someone, I guess that is a good idea. And also New Zealand has a rich rugby culture as well. And there it does say, and of course, Obi Snake is saying that is for David via Tupu rather than David there, for which David he has decided to block. But Steve Smith, who do you think will be winning that game between New Zealand and Australia? Because of the fact that it's that Trans-Tasman, that's going to be a Freddie whipped away to the leg side. It's going almost to the boundary. Great fielding in the outfield, though, from Harris Ralph to be able to restrict it from being the boundary, and they are running hard, and they have got themselves the 2 there. Very nicely done by Hetmai to be able to stop that one as well. Is the Mongolians in New Zealand as well, says K Kai. It's a good question. I assume we've got some people from Mongolia, if I'm not wrong, although we are talking also Mark is currently in it as well. And also we have got there, yeah, good, mate. Just tired. Hope you're well as well, says Steve Smith. It was Sebastian. And also Gengis Khan came from Mongolia. I feel like I pronounced that name wrong there. But at this stage now, they're starting to up this run rate here for them once again. Hetmai going to be on strike. He has got bright blue here. Can he get this one up into the bright blue sky and go all the way to the boundary? Oh, he's missed that one. And it is going to be another wide from Shian Afridi. This is starting to let them just get a little bit more towards that 120 like I was mentioning. If they keep on going at around 10 and over for the last 4, they will be able to get there for this one as well, brother. And the chat from David. Oh, did his foot touch the line there or touch the rope out on the boundary? Harris Ralph, I think the benefit of the doubt went to him in that situation, but Shian Afridi now needs to try his best to be able to get this one straight. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful ramp shot there, and that one is going to be going to the boundary, and Hetmai has been able to score another boundary. 18, off that over for Shian Afridi, which is not ideal for him. Definitely not when they did have so much pressure on the West Indian batsman. Hetmai saw the space. He decided to ramp it over the top, and it went all the way to the boundary, so they were able to get 2 boundaries in that over, a 4 and a 6, and then about 4 wides as well. Are there any Pakistani people in New Zealand? I believe we have got quite a few because of those matches between New Zealand and Pakistan. I did see quite a few supporters in the crowd, which was awesome to see for those ones. But we've got quite a few kind of, I guess you could say, people from all around the world in New Zealand. Surely Pakistan is the favourite as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, for this game, I would say heavily at this stage as well, because they are ranked number 3 in the world for T20, and West Indies are 9th, but they've been able to cut them down very nicely here. And also we have got there, just a quick correction, mate, the surname is Grama as well. And there also we have got there, have you met Francis Oliver Lindsay? Great adventure guy. He's sometime YouTube as well. Says Kevin, I have not. Is he from New Zealand? Kevin, do let me know. And yes, mate. Says Smithy Toilet there as well in the chat. And also we have got there, is this the first innings, Hamish? It is indeed. So at this stage, they are going to be setting the total of the West Indies with 4 overs left till we get to halftime. They're going to have to be careful, though, because of the fact that if Pakistan let the foot off the gas here, they're starting to hit the ball a bit harder, and that one's going straight out to the fielder, but it's going to be a misfield. And now Pakistan, the man at deep square, is going to be able to get themselves 2 runs there, West Indies as well. Do you have any mates that aren't New Zealanders? Says K Kai. Oh, that's a good question. Do I have any mates that aren't? I assume we're not considering you guys in the chat for that one, because then I guess I could say easily yes for it. But overall, mates, I feel like I've only really got my 3 very close friends of the Kiwi lads kind of thing. So it is that situation of me, George, Daniel, and Isaac, and then that's pretty much and also we have got there, every country has a Pakistani living in it, mate, as well. Says Smithy Toy. Now it's going to be bowled by Harris Ralph. Cut back to point, but it is going to be nicely stopped there by Shadab. Was able to just keep it to 1, but at the moment it seems like that run rate is really going to start ramping up for West Indies. They've got 6 wickets in hand. They've got nothing to lose as well. My neighbour is from Pakistan. He is the best, and his food is so good as well, says Obi Snake. And also, where are you from? Says David there. It was K Kai, but at this stage now they are showing who's had the best economy. It's actually Ahmad. He's bowled 3 overs for 6 runs, 1 wicket as well. I would assume he is going to get one of the later overs in this one, and maybe Shadab as well, only going for 3.5 per over. Might be another good option for Pakistan for this one, but they are showing the man at the moment in the number. I was about to say in the jersey number, but I feel like that's something that in cricket you don't really base yourself off too much in terms of you more go the position that they are playing on the field. At this stage, where does Harris Ralph put this ball? He's got the 150 Ks to his advantage if he decides to use it. He has a steaming in at the moment, and he's gone for the bouncer almost, and it has been missed by the West Indian bowler, or batter, sorry, Hetmeyer. Wasn't quite able to get a hold of it, but both of these batters, for the first time for the West Indians, they have actually been able to have two guys with a strike rate of higher than 100, which means they are hitting more runs per balls faced. So they are doing very decently indeed. But Harris Ralph, he's a very good player. He'll be in the Big Bash, hopefully again here. We will have to wait and see. And also we have got there, what is Pakistan food as well. Says KK there. At this stage now, Harris Ralph once again going to be bowling this one. 1 for 9 for him so far in his innings. Oh, it's an awkward looking shot for Hetmeyer. Almost a half bouncer there. And now it's going to be going down to Shiana Freddie, who was at fine leg. And he has been able to throw it in for just the single once again here for Pakistan, or for the West Indies, I should say. Sorry, I almost yawned there a little bit. We're at 12:20. I agree, sorry, Hamish. Going off script, or going off script, stay on sports script, as well, says Kevin there. Yeah, it is no worries. We have got plenty more stoppages in cricket than we would normally have for our other live streams. So it does mean there is plenty of time for anything you guys do want to talk about in the chat at the moment. Just a field change. They are dropping the man from, he was at mid-off, but now he's dropped to long off, which pretty much means he's taken about 40 metres or so back towards the boundary. And so we have got the one of the spammers accounts as well. Says Sebastian there, but now it is going to be Harris Ralph, who will once again get the opportunity to be able to go for this one. 2.4 overs is how many he's bowled so far. They've only actually got 3.2 overs left for the West Indies. And I think if they can get themselves towards that 120, could be possibly enough depending on how it goes. And also we've got there, those little, nearly got me as well. Says the Smithy toilet there. But now Harris Ralph going to be going around the wicket for this one. Or over the wicket, sorry. And it's just going to be hit out to the side by Pooran. Out cover way, and that is going to be the single once again here for them. So they have got a total of 19 balls left in this game for Pakistan to really be able to get something going for themselves. And also we have got there, yeah, my bad, mate. My mind's a bit all over the place right now. Just got done working a 14-hour day. Says Stisa, geez, that wouldn't have been very easy at all. So 14 hours. I'm trying to do maths. So at the moment you are sitting at around that 7 a.m. So you would have been starting at, geez, you would have started at 5 a.m., Steve. That is commitment and a half, mate. So yeah, hopefully you are feeling all right in a little while. What do you think of Justin Marshall? Do you look up to him as a commentator as well? Says KK. That's going to be hit straight down the ground and it's going to hit the wickets there. But they are going to be going for just a single. But overall, Justin Marshall, I don't mind his commentary in terms of the knowledge that he's got. But sometimes he can be a little bit too far on one side type thing, if that makes sense. Like he's very much the All Blacks and just the All Blacks type thing, which is why on this channel we always try and go for a little bit of that down the middle commentary type thing, so that it can be that both sides of it can actually get the opportunity to kind of hear about it type thing as well, or kind of get the opportunity to enjoy the commentary, I should say. No worries, mate, as well, with the 10 out of 10 from Sebastian there as well. And also hi from Mitchell. Welcome into the live stream. 4 a.m. Hamish as well. 14 hours is pretty normal for me as well, says Steve Smith. What do you do for work, Steve, that gets you up at 4 a.m.? Because of the fact that I was still, actually, we were actually still live streaming at 4 a.m. New Zealand time the other night. 9 a.m. would have been when Toulon versus Toulouse was actually on. That was actually quite a good game. Rugby went down to the wire in Toulon, able to get themselves a win, and lol, says that Paddy Wagon there as well. But now the predicted score at the moment, if they can go at 10 and over, they will be able to get themselves up to 122 runs here for the West Indies. Is it going to be enough? We will have to wait and see. But 17 overs gone at the moment. Hassan has been given the ball once again here, and he is going to be once again having a bit of a bowl, but we will quickly go like this as it does. There we go. It has updated itself now as well. Now it's going to be, it's just going to hit the pad there, unfortunately, for Hetmeyer. Slower ball there as well. And also we have got there, I'm pretty sure this hunting field for scamming hopefully keeps mods out, or mods keep out as well, says Kevin. Also, isn't any rugby commentator biased against the country they are from? Look at the Australian commentators. So pretty much it is normally for the country that they play for, or they have, like the likes of a lot of these commentators, they have actually had ex-caps playing for that side. So it does make it very tough indeed to be able to kind of, I guess you could say, not be one-sided, but then some of them are very good at doing it as well, to be able to kind of say it from both sides. That's going straight up in the air there. Pooran could be in a bit of a trouble depending on who's lining it up as Baba, and he has been able to take it there. And it is going to be the captain, Baba Hassan, who was able to take the wicket of Hassan. No, sorry, it was the wicket of Pooran. 13 from 13, and he's going to be going off as well. Someone spamming again. says Steve Smith. Yeah, they seem to be kind of going on and off throughout this whole live stream. But yeah, it seems like you guys at the moment have been kind of, you've been able to know it not too bad. Do you not like biased commentators as well, says Kai? It is more of the fact that normally it's the other people who are listening do not enjoy the biased commentary. Because I've actually kind of had this conversation with the chat before, and a lot of people, such as if you were watching a game between, let's say, what's an example, South Africa and Australia, and you were from New Zealand, and you're listening to the commentary, and it's a Australian commentary team, for example, and they are just saying how good Australia are and not kind of talking about South Africa, then as a neutral, it does make it very hard to try and get behind the side that they're not really talking about too much, even if they were having a very good game. So that is why we try and end up balancing it out so that both sides can kind of have that kind of side of it. And I think that is something that we kind of do different a little bit to other channels in some regards. But at the stage, the captain, Kieran Pollard, making his way out to the crease. He is a big individual, and he has got a big job to do here because they need to try and get themselves a few more runs before the end of this innings. But he's reaching down, touching the toes. That's a long way down for that man as well, that is for sure. He is not going to be on strike. It is going to be Hetmeyer sitting on 19 from 19 at the moment, still trying to get himself towards that strike rate of maybe 150. If he got towards 150 at the end of this game, would be relatively impressive. But I feel like they need a run rate of 6 or so at least here. San going to be running in. It's going to be a big shot from Hetmeyer as he got all of it. It's just lobbed over the ring, and it is going to be 4 runs down the ground, I should say there. Hetmeyer moves up to 23 off 20 as well. And also we have got the MA Virgin with too much time on their hands as well. Says David now. It's a massive shot down the ground from Hetmeyer. He ended up just putting everything into that. Saw the full toss. The eyes lit up. Was just able to clear over the top of mid-off, and it is going to be rolling right to the boundary as well. And at this stage, anyone who was wondering, the Netherlands at this stage, 16.5 overs down, 89 for 7. So they're actually struggling as well. So it might just be a day that's gone straight up in the air. That's gone extremely high. Should be the wicket. Oh, it's been dropped. It's been dropped by Alfez, and now because of it, they will be able to run the 2 more than likely there. But that is a mistake. Hetmeyer, the only set batsman at the moment, does mean that it is going to be a little bit of a second chance for Hetmeyer to be able to score himself a few more tries. Kikai is a bit sus too as well. Says Obi Snake there. But yeah, this stage of the Netherlands, after 17 overs, only sitting on the 90 runs. So perhaps it's just a hard day in terms of the batting, low-scoring ones. I'm going to check what the scores were for the games yesterday. 140 for Scotland, 129 for Papua New Guinea. So maybe, we might not see too many of those 180 or so as well. Who's your favourite commentator in rugby or cricket as well? I feel like, is it Grant Nisbet's probably one of the ones who are right up there in terms of the commentary. I believe it's Grant Nisbet, isn't it, who does the commentary alongside the likes of Justin Marshall and whatnot. Oh, it's going to be Kieran Pollard almost dropping that onto his stumps. And then also Ian Smith is very good to listen to as well. Catches win matches as well, says Ovi Stake, the classic saying, and it is well and truly in full effect here. We will have to wait and see whether or not that will be a little bit of an impact for them, because Hetmeyer at the moment, 24 from 21, he's set. And that could have been him gone, and they would have had 2 very new batsmen. Neither of them haven't faced the ball at that stage, but does now mean that it is going to be one last chance for Hetmeyer to try and get something going in this one as well. Another yawn. We're not used to that as well. Someone looking for attention as well, says Steve Smith. It is indeed. That one's going to be hit down to the mid-wicket region, and it is just going to be the single once again to close out the over. Hassan finishing his spell, 2 for 21. And that is very decent off the 4 overs. 99 runs for the West Indies. And also Pakistani fielding is usually bad as well. Says Wise One. They do put down a few too many catches, unfortunately, for them. But if they can keep this pressure on of 2 overs left, if they can stop Kieran Pollard from hitting an over with about 24 in it, they will be in a decent position to be able to win this match. But the problem is, how do you stop Kieran Pollard from hitting an over with 24 when that man can hit the ball probably out of this ground? They'd have to take quite a while to find it. They've also got Walsh, who will be coming in after Pollard, or Hetmeyer if they do end up going out. Rampal, also McCoy and Thomas. I don't think they'll get that far down with only the 12 balls left, but 12 extras as well. I believe about 4 of those coming from Shi and Afridi in that one as well for one of the ones a little bit earlier on. Also still living in Auntie's guest room, paying Nuke for rent money as well. Says that's Smithy Donald. Also, we have got the look tied to Hamish, too committed to bringing the entertainment as well, says Steve Smith. Yeah, I absolutely love doing these live streams. My downfall probably was the fact that I stayed up to watch Toulon versus Toulouse. Even though I said that I probably shouldn't, I ended up wanting to see it, and I ended up staying up to that whole game. which I guess you could say was probably not too smart at times. When you get to about 10 a.m. or so and you're like, right, I need to now try and sleep and then wake up so that I can do a couple of live streams in the middle of the night the next night. But I've had some food, so I should be good to go for a little bit longer, I believe. And we've got the next match that is going to be taking place. Oh, Pollard there just with the single out to the cover section. It's going to be the single. But yeah, we've got another match, the Australia versus New Zealand match, that will be taking place a little bit later on. That's actually still in 2.5 hours. So hopefully by then my brain is like full on wired and I'm good to go for that little bit longer. And also we have got their Lion versus Toulouse. Sebastian. Also, I think something else that will help me out for that match between Australia and New Zealand will be I will know all of the players by name kind of by just looking at them. Whereas in this game, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm looking at the numbers on the backs rather than kind of knowing the players exactly. Like I've heard of them, of course, but I haven't really been able to describe who's getting the ball in the outfield and that kind of thing, which is something that I'll be working on for that next live stream as well. But Freddie now, a little bit of a spinner. It's like Yorker thingamabob, and it's going down the ground for 4 once again there. And Shanna Freddie, it was very bold giving him one more over with the amount of wides that he had in the last one. But now Hitmeyer has made his way up to 28 of 22 balls. He's going to have to be possibly, tell you what, 22 more runs and he gets himself a 50. If he gets about 2 or 3 more bowl boundaries in this one as well, maybe he could work his way towards it. But Shanna Freddie trying a little bit of the roll of the wrist, a little bit of a cutter there, but didn't quite work out. And Hitmeyer with a straight drive straight down the ground as well there. Stage 10 balls to go. 3-4 so far for Shimron Hitmeyer, who has been doing very decently. 28 of 22. Shanna Freddie bowling, big swing and a miss, but now it's going to be 4 byes. It's gone straight through the legs of the keeper, and that is not what they would have been wanting there. It's going to be 4 runs, not against a Freddie, but against the team, unfortunately, straight through the legs of the keeper there. He saw that big of a swing from Hitmeyer that he got scared and just watched the ball go between the legs there. Mohammed Rizwan, normally a very solid keeper, but at this stage he ended up, there was a massive swing and then it ended up just didn't really bounce. Unfortunately, good thing Hamish got mods when he did as well. Says Steve Swift, I did indeed. Yeah, I'm very happy with you guys who I did make mods because of the fact that I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe it could have been the fact that they, whoever it is, didn't get made a mod, that maybe they decided that they did need to start spamming. That's going to be a wicket, and Hitmeyer's going to be on his way now. Shaheen able to pick up the wicket, and that's going to be a second here now. And once again, it's going to be Baba Azam, who was able to take it. Hitmeyer disappointed, but now it is going to be Walsh, I believe, making his way out onto the field as well. We have got their shame on Black Caps, as I said, Smithy Toilet, Pakistan, go from Smithy Toilet as well. Taken nicely by Mohammed Rizwan. That's not the name that was the keeper, but now it's going to be Baba Azam. He's a very happy man at the moment. He will not be too happy, though. Hitmeyer making his way off the field. Off the pitch, I guess I could say. No, it is an outfield, I guess you could say. 28 for 24. Decent strike rate, 116 for, or 0.7, but that is actually the highest out of any player at this stage that they have had. Netherlands actually working their way towards getting to that 120 as well. They're sitting on 100 runs off 80.2 or 18.2, sorry, at this stage. And attracting these bloody flies. All of the members come from the VKR Army as well. Says Smithy Toilet, yeah, I believe. There are a few who have got transferred over from there because we have actually talked before, and he said that he's had quite a few problems with spammers in the past. When I have trouble sleeping, I get a tumbler glass, put 2 cases of ice in it, then 2 shots of single malt whiskey, then soda water, ecstasy in a glass as well, says David. But yeah, at this stage, I think all I've had today is water, which I'll have to wait and see whether or not that will keep me going through. I believe it's going to be the wicket there off Hitmeyer that they are showing just there. But yeah, Netherlands trying to work their way forward. That's going to be a wide there from Freddie, unfortunately. So he's been able to pick up 2 wickets so far, but also given away quite a few runs. Hitmeyer tried to hoik it to the leg side. Unfortunately, was just a little bit too far outside the off stump. And then it was taken nicely by Baba Azam as well. I have a bad stomach acid at the moment. Can't sleep. So annoying as well, says Obi Snake. Yeah, that's the worst. When you're lying down and you can kind of feel it about there. I think, if I'm not wrong, is that the same one? Oh, it's kind of, is it acid reflux, is it called? I think it is something along those lines. Yeah, mate, I think there's a couple of them as well, says David. And now it's going to be hit for the single by Kyron Pollard. Kind of seems to be quite happy enough with just ticking over the strike rate just for now. And now he is going to have 1 ball left for Walsh on strike for the 19th over. And then it will be going into the situation of Pollard. Will have 6 balls to try and get them to maybe around that 130 mark. But at the moment, Hayden Walsh, 17.5 average, best of 28, 140 runs from his 12 innings. And also we have got the, I think there's a couple of them as well. Says David. In terms of the mods, I believe we've got Steve Smith, David, Sebastian, and also Katie Dixon, I believe, are the 4 that we have got at the moment on the channel. And then also, I want to say that the podcast channel might be a mod as well. I remember my headmaster at primary school was mad on cricket. He would literally stop teaching for the afternoon and take us out to play cricket for the rest of the day. Well, good times as well, says Steve Smith. I've got an interesting story from primary school for myself. It was actually a dot ball to close out the 19th, but I did get a certificate in front of the primary school, and it was the first certificate I believe I've ever had in terms of not for an academic award type thing, but I believe it was one of the first times I've ever done it. But our principal, he was very keen on cricket as well, and I took a diving catch in the outfield. Oh, and Isaac's a mod as well, that is true. Yeah, I took a running diving catch, pretty much almost knocked myself out, but he said that it was one of the best catches that he'd ever seen. So because of that, I actually got an award at the kind of next assembly, and it was the situation of the great catch. I believe I still got that certificate somewhere, but that was pretty awesome. Kind of getting that one as well. I know Scrumlass, she might not know what cricket is as well, says Ivy Snake. I believe she's only kind of heard of it, and she might be here for the 3 a.m. one, I believe, because of the fact that it is still very early morning in the USA. I want to say that it is currently 5:30 a.m., which may be why we haven't quite seen her just yet. And also, I can't sleep, so I'm just lying here and listening as well, says Paddy Wagon. So hopefully we are doing a decent job with the commentary. I'll tell you what, Harris Ralph with a beautiful Yorker, but that hurts because of the fact that Pollard's been able to get just enough of a ledge on it, and it is going to be going down to the boundary at third man. At the moment, the West Indies sitting on 114, and they've done very well to fight back the way that they have here. They're working their way towards that 120-130 mark if they can, and Pollard, it's just hit the side of the bat, gone off it like a rocket, but that's what happens when you've got Harris Ralph, who is bowling at just an insane amount of speed. 7 runs for 5 at the moment for Andre Pollard. Or sorry, not Andre Pollard, that is, of course, South African, a rugby player, but Kieran Pollard, the captain of the West Indies now. At this stage, Harris Ralph, he has been bowling decently so far, 3 overs, 0.1, and then also 1 for 16 at the moment. But the first ball of this one going for the boundary straight away, so he needs to bring this one back a little bit more. Pollard just absolutely whacking that one down the ground, and that's going to be another 4. And now it does mean that the West Indies creeping closer and closer towards that 120. And maybe if they can get to 130 or 135 or so, could be enough to be able to help them push towards the win. But the West Indies at the moment, Pollard is just an absolute unit, and he has been able to whack that one. I'm brand new to cricket as well, but it seems like I follow this World Cup throughout, or it seems like I'll follow this World Cup throughout, says Sebastian. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I haven't done any cricket commentary for a very long time. Probably November last year, January this year, I believe, was our last game of the BBL, which we are going to be covering on the channel this year as well. And it actually transitions into the question from Scotty Burns. Do you go for a BBL team? I go for the Sixers, and the Sixers, they are a very good side indeed. I enjoy watching them play. Josh Hazlewood, Nathan Lyon as well. And then you've also got, that's another 4. Pollard now straight down the ground, being able to hit a third 4 in a row at this stage. The last 12 balls, they've been able to hit 24 runs. They are doing very nicely. And no Johnny Blaze, I believe he will be working tomorrow, kind of early morning, which may be why he has missed him. But yeah, the Sixers are a very good side to watch. I also quite enjoy watching the Melbourne Stars because of the fact that they have got a very strong batting lineup, and Harris Ralph actually plays for them a little bit as well. But yeah, just a misfield there from Pakistan. But you can understand that ball was going like an absolute tracer bullet. But at the moment now, they're trying to find it. So he ended up kind of escaping a little bit by the looks of it. It hit the back of the board, they are saying, and it's kind of gone somewhere around here. They're looking for it, and they have got it. Shadab has been able to find it, but at the moment, Pollard, 12 runs from his last 3 balls. Pollard, that means name will be easy to remember as well, says Sebastian. It will indeed. It is just the case of I may accidentally call him Andre rather than calling him Kieran every once in a while. But yeah, I just got to remember my All Blacks mascot, Pollard. That will be all I need to do. Because, of course, the rugby one, we have got our All Blacks mascot, and his name is Kieran. So that is pretty awesome. There we go, Harris Ralph. Once again, now it's going to be Pollard. Massive edge there. It's gone high, and that's going to be going for another 4. 4 in a row here for Pollard. He is on fire. I believe it was not that long ago in the Caribbean Premier League where that man hit 6 sixes in a row. And he is at the moment hitting 4 fours in a row. He's going to keep on going by the looks of it. And now the West Indies up to 126. They have done very well to get to that total that they have got. And I'm wondering how much the odds at the moment are changing for this game, the way that Kieran Pollard is hitting this ball and getting them a whole heap of extra runs. Kieran Pollard as well says a bat. And also they probably know another, if that's the case as well. And there says Steve Smith. And also we have got there in the chat as well on fire, says Wise One. He is indeed. Can Pollard do it again? 4 from 4 so far. Oh, that's in the slot. Kieran Pollard frees the arms. Hasn't got enough. It's through the gap, and it's going to be another 4 down to mid-wicket. And Bubba Azam at the moment, he can't believe what is going on at the moment. But Kieran Pollard is just causing all sorts of problems for Harris Ralph. He had a decent economy rate going into this over, but 31 runs off the last 12 balls. He just stands and delivers. Kieran Pollard, I should say. Harris Ralph just getting the length wrong. But then what length do you bowl to Pollard when he is in form at the moment? Yes, mate, definitely as well. Says that David, right. Harris Ralph, he's up to 1 for 32 off 3.5. That's still not a terrible amount, but needs to make sure this is going to be a dot. Oh, it's in the slot. It's bowled him, though. Well bowled from Harris Ralph. The slower ball there, able to pick up the wicket on the final ball of the innings, and Pakistan are going to require 131 from their innings to be able to win this match, but West Indies, they've done extremely well to get that run rate up to 6.5. They were only going at less than 5 till up around the 17th over or so. So for them to be right there, it was the cutter as well. Just a little bit straight, a little bit slower from Harris Ralph. Well bowled to take the speed off that one. And then Kieran Pollard just chipping it onto the stumps. And that is going to be the end of his innings and also the end of the innings for the West Indies. But I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe as well, because we are going to be covering plenty of the games of the Cricket World Cup. These are just the friendly matches that are taking place at the moment, but we are going to be covering all of the matches that are taking place for the Super 12, as many of them as we can as well. I'll be going for the big sixes. If I was playing as well, probably end up getting wicketed by future or fortune favours the brave, but fortune favours the brave, says Steve Smith. That's the thing. When I play cricket, I feel like this is actually very believable because of the fact that I probably don't look like I've got a huge amount of power, but I never hit a 6. And I hardly ever hit 4s either because of the fact that until I was about, I want to say I grew when I was about year 9 or 10, but then by then I had almost finished playing cricket. So I was at the stage of I was always the shortest player out on the field, and I just pretty much have to swat. I had decent technique though. I could play out through the covers and the cut shot and whatnot, but just never quite had that power to back me up. Unfortunately, and also we've got their strike rate just went up big time. It did indeed. And I'm actually going to be doing something here. I'm going to look at the TAB. And the reason behind that is I love seeing the odds and how they differ. Actually, I don't need to. Because I believe if I go like this, there we go. At this stage, Pakistan, the win likeliness of them winning is actually 76%. I actually forgot that I had that option of being able to scroll down. But at this stage, the West Indies getting 130 of 7. We'll scroll down to the scorecard as well. We can see Simmons was able to get himself 18 runs off 23 balls. Andre Fletcher, 2 off 6, but he was bowled in the end by Hassan Ali. Then Chris Gowie was on 20 off 30. Little bit of a slow start for that man compared with the power that he has got. Roston Chase had a decent start, but just never quite was able to increase that strike rate. But then we go down to Hit My Head at a very good innings, able to move himself up to 28 off 24, even though he did get dropped when he was around that 22 mark. Puran, the wicket keeper, able to go 13 from 13. And then also Kieran Pollard here. Look at this. 23 off 10 balls, 5 4s as well with a strike rate of 230. That really did help them push their way towards being in the position that they are with the 130. So now we are at the halftime break and we will have to wait and see whether or not we will get to see a win. And at the second half, we will go like this and we will go like this as well. There we go. And also, when I was a kid, there were only 4 sports in New Zealand: rugby and cricket, and more rugby and cricket as well, says that David Evan. And also, we have got there Geraldas has said hello, mate, as well, and hello to everyone as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to see you for this cricket live stream that we are doing on the channel. Our first one since January last year. It's been a little while, but I'm very excited for this Cricket World Cup. These are still just the matches that are taking place as kind of warm-up games for the ones that we are going to get to see a little bit later on. And yeah, hopefully they will be very good fixtures as well. But at the moment, for this match, the West Indies are actually $4.25 underdogs for this game so far. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that does affect them. But I'm wondering what it was before they started going on a little bit of a tear at the end of this one. My best bowling was 6 for 5 of free for against Tamuka as well, says Obi Snake. So that is very impressive there to be able to have the kind of economy that you would have there, because I believe I used to get a few wickets, but I was always kind of spinner, but then I'd also sometimes do a bit of medium pace with a couple cutters. I believe was kind of my way to do it. But yeah, this stage I just shown the highlights of Kieran Pollard, and he was just able to keep on whacking the ball, but then he ended up whacking the ball straight onto the stumps, and then he did end up going out, unfortunately, for them. As well, we also got there in the chat, Jared asks, welcome back, mate. Hope you're well as well. And also we've got there, how you mate, been a while, as well, all good, mate, from Jared asks, which is great to hear. South Africa currently playing Afghanistan in their matchup as well. And I will quickly find you guys what the score in that one is as well. But in the Netherlands, they were able to get themselves a total of 106 off their 20 overs. So they've done decently there. But Ireland, I would say more than likely, might be able to chase that one down. Looking through at the other fixtures that are going on at the moment, as we can see, the West Indies sitting 130 for 7 for their game. And then at this stage, also happening at the moment, is Afghanistan taking on South Africa, and they are going to be sitting on one moment. I believe it was actually Sri Lanka. No, Sri Lanka. When Sri Lanka played? No, we're in the wrong month at the moment. So the game that has taken place, South Africa at the moment, after their 20 overs, they were able to get 145 for 5 in the end. So it's a few close games at the moment. So 145, 130, and 106 are the totals that these teams in the second innings are going to have to chase. And I will show the table as it is sitting at the moment. Because of the fact that these games between Sri Lanka, Ireland, Netherlands, Namibia, Oman, Scotland, Bangladesh, and Papua New Guinea, they are all working their way towards making it into that Super 12, which is what everyone is kind of aspiring for. But as you can see here, this is how it is sitting at the moment. Sri Lanka, they are currently going to be playing up against Namibia, I believe it is, in a future game that they have got as well. And Oman able to get their win, Scotland able to get their win over Bangladesh, and what was a extremely impressive one. And now at this stage, we'll have to wait and see how it is going to be sitting. But whoever wins those ones, it's pretty much the top ones of each of those groups will make themselves into, they will be able to get into that Super 12, which then from here, I will just let you guys know exactly who these two sides are going to be playing for their Super 12 while we are waiting for the second innings to get back underway. But do let me know, Pakistan, are they going to chase this down? We'll quickly go to the live stream, and at this stage, 61% of you have said that Pakistan will be able to get this one. Is my prediction of Pakistan winning by 8 runs looking good so far as well, says Sebastian. I believe it's probably not a mile off, and we will, although with them being second, I believe they base it off how many wickets they've got left in terms of the result. But if they chase it down with a few balls left, I would say that we will consider it somewhere around that 8 runs mark, which might be 100% spot on with. We'll have to wait and see. It would be pretty awesome if you were able to absolutely nail it. And only about, probably, is this about your third game of cricket that you have watched, Sebastian, and your predictions are probably already about 10 times better than mine will be for these ones as well. But at the moment, we have just got the ads in the mid-roll kind of situation. We will be straight back into it. We're getting All Blacks versus USA ads. I'm excited for that competition, all those matches to start back up. Oh no, as soon as I slouch down like this, it's actually very comfy. Should I bring the chair forward? I'm considering bringing over the comfy chair, but I might end up falling asleep, so that might not be a good idea. But that would be a good idea at some stage. Bring one of those chairs forward. I would well and truly love that. You have to wait and see. But yeah, at this stage, George doesn't like cricket, but if I could somehow get him for a cricket live stream, that would be pretty awesome. Although they are in the middle of the night, but I believe I'm hopefully going to be able to have him for a couple of the matches of the Bunnings NPC. This is my first ever contact with Cricket Honest as well, says Sebastian. So yeah, if Pakistan win it by only a few runs, I would be very impressed indeed. But at this stage, Pakistan versus the West Indies, it is being played at ICC Academy in Dubai for this match as well. But yeah, anyone who is wondering who was able to score all the runs, Kieran Pollard was the top scorer for his side. No, he wasn't quite. He had 23 runs, and also it was actually Hitmeyer who was able to have the most. The Netherlands versus the Afghanistan, as well, says David. So there are quite a few kind of interesting matches that are taking place at the moment for building our way towards the Super 12, which is going to be kicking off. Well, I keep on saying kicking off. I love saying kicking off, but it is not kicking off. So the first match of the Super 12 is going to be taking place on Saturday, the 23rd of October, and that is going to be Australia versus South Africa. And that is at 11 p.m., which isn't too bad. Then there's a 3 a.m. game between England and the West Indies. That's a little bit later. And then also we have got there on the Monday, India versus Pakistan at 3 a.m. South Africa versus West Indies is another one that we will be looking at. Pakistan versus New Zealand. Also the middle of the night. for that one as well. But yeah, those are kind of the biggest games. And then New Zealand versus India on the 1st of November will be certainly one that we have a look at. But now they are just showing the West Indian bowlers warming up here. Rampal, he's a very solid individual, and he will be able to put a little bit of pace on this ball as well. But at this stage, the big question is, can the West Indies defend 131 or 130 that they were able to get? Because they did well to get up to that stage, and it just shows that if you can get yourself a few early overs or late overs as well, and also we've got that lad, you're doing very well as well, says Ephraim. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Do let me know if I have got that wrong, but thank you very much. Do appreciate you being here. We are going to be covering plenty of the Cricket World Cup games, so if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are doing a little bit of the cricket, also some rugby as well. We need an amateur backyard cricket comp in New Zealand, sponsored by Kiwi Lads as well, says Obi Steak. That would be a lot of fun if we were able to get something like that going. I guess the reason is because a British mate of mine told me to stay away from it because it's boring. It can last 5 days and things like that as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, test match cricket, it's one of those ones, if you really enjoy, I guess, the tactics and everything of cricket, that's kind of, I guess you could say, the best format, because of the fact they've got so long to try and almost, it's a chess match over those full 5 days. And one of the best examples of that was India versus Australia. I believe it was about the 3rd or 4th test match of their series in Australia, and it was absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, at this stage, I would say like T20 cricket's pretty good because of the fact it's only 3 hours or so that it does take, and you kind of get a quick-paced kind of game in that regard. Well, that looks rather painful there for the Pakistani player. He's got someone's knee right where he doesn't want it, I would think. That looks like an awkward thing going on at the moment, but it must be good for the warm-up, I guess. And also we've got there, it looks like an easy win for Pakistan, says Aiden. And also, so T20 is different from Test. It is indeed. So Test matches, you've got 90 overs on 5 days, whereas for T20, you have 20 overs for each team. So you got 40 overs in total. And then from there, you're kind of going like that. I'm kind of keen to try and get the green screen up, even though I'll probably end up breaking something. But if you guys want to see the green screen up, I could try and have myself as like a background of some sort. Haven't used it much, but I probably should, because of the fact that I did buy it for the channel, but haven't actually used it. But we'll have to wait and see. I remember seeing Shane Warne at the Ashes years ago. Don't think I've ever seen a bowler since who could spin the ball as good as him. His spin was unreal. Yeah, the leggies from Warne, they were absolutely phenomenal. I remember that one that went, it was a right-handed batsman, and it bounced about this far out from the wickets and just ended up hitting the rough and going straight onto the stumps. But yeah, he's certainly one of the best. Rashid Khan for Afghanistan is actually going to be a decent shout in terms of he's got many, many variations of leg spin. There's Nathan Lyon as well. He is the off spinner, of course, likes to spin it the other way, also known as Gaza, who has recently brought up 100 matches, I want to say, but I could be wrong in that regard. But 100 is on my mind at the moment. Is 100 on the mind of Pakistan, hopefully, because they need 131 to be able to get that one. Now, at this stage, they're making their way back out onto the field in Pakistan. They have got to try and chase down that 131 for themselves. At this stage, one of the Pakistani coaches, I believe that is, but the umpire's making their way back out there. And they need to make sure that their discipline, or not their discipline, I'm still in rugby mode, their fielding is going to be very good from the West Indies, or else they get themselves in a little bit of trouble as well, right? The West Indies making their way out onto the field. I'm going to try something, and I feel like this is going to be either a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to see whether or not this works, because I do need to test it for a future live stream. So I am still going to be connected to this, but I'm going to try and put up the green screen. Luckily, you guys can still hear me because of the fact that I've got a cable just moving a tripod. We actually filmed a video the other day using that tripod, fun fact. How long is this cable? It's quite a long one. I can reach right out, trying to put this down. There we go, the tripod's down, and we have got there. Vittori was very unorthodox as well, or sorry, very orthodox. And what's the win probability? I believe it said 76% for Pakistan to be able to win this one. And also, yeah, bro, Kiwi Lads should sponsor the New Zealand Women's Beach Volleyball team as well, says David. Worth a crack one day, maybe. We'll see how we go. Right. Hopefully, if I'm careful while we are waiting for this game get back underway, I'll spin that, I'll break that. Yep, good. And now we go like this, I think. Go like this. Anyone who's tuning in now, hello, how are you? I'm currently hiding at the moment. It's not on purpose. It's just because of the fact that I'm trying to quickly set something up here. And also we've got the Yes David as well. And also Kiwi Ledge should sponsor the beach volleyball. Be a bit of fun, wouldn't it? But at this stage now, I'm hoping if I go like this, no, it's in the wrong location by half an inch, unfortunately. Here we go, look at that. That almost works. We're back now, and we've got a green screen behind us. That's that, so we go around here just a little bit more. There we go, look at that. It's green behind me, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a massive green screen. So yeah, I feel quite cozy, to be honest, but we're almost here at the second innings of this game as well. Anyone seen women's fingerings wrestling? Says Obi, saying, not that I've heard of, Obi. And also women's beach volleyball, says Sebastian there as well. Right, so I've got a green screen. Now I've got to try and use it in some regard. What could I put as my background? I could probably put George as my background, to be honest. I think I've got one picture of George here. It looks good as well, says Paddy Wagon. We'll get the green screen. What do we got there? There we go. We got... That'll do. We're good to go, you know. This stage now, it is going to be once again West Indies bowling. Beautiful little bit of swing early on for them. But now Pakistan. It was actually Rizwan who is going to be on strike at the George emojis there from Crazy AZ and also love from Paddy Wagon. That is actually almost the exact George from the emoji a little bit, or he's a little bit more like that in the emoji one. But now at this stage does mean that Pakistan are going to be batting here. And there we go. It has updated as well. We have got Jordan in the chat with the laughing emojis there. Time to celebrate the colour green. I've got something in mind as well, says Sebastian. And it's Peter Griffin as well there. And yeah, I have got George next to me. It kind of, is it lagging slightly more with the green screen, ladies and gentlemen? Because my fingers look weird. But now it is going to be the wicketkeeper who is going to be claiming that one just to top. What about the Kiwi Lads monogram as well, says David. David, tell you what, we could try something here. Anyone who is wondering what we are doing, pretty much at this stage, we are doing our cricket commentary, but we're also testing something that we haven't really tested on the channel before, and that is a green screen. Because of the fact that I think I can adjust it in terms of the amount of fade and whatnot, because I can put an Isaac here as well. That's a massive... It's Isaac. Massive Isaac there. At the other stage, Rizwan going to be on strike once again here. Run pull, or it's going to be whipped away to the leg side. Just down to the man at long on, and it is going to be just that one as well. No, you're good for lag as well, says Jordan. So that is very good news. And Hobro joined from Fiji, says Etiquette. You'll be wondering what is happening at the moment. We haven't had the green screen for the whole live stream, but just decided it was worth a crack of seeing whether or not it did work for one of these future live streams. Perhaps we put ourselves as a background of some sort of it being able to get kind of the ground or something like that, possibly as well. We have got there. Frotzy says, thank you very much, mate, for that donation. And also got to go cheers to the stream owners as well with the rugby ball and the cricket bat. We will see you later on, mate. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. And it's a beautiful inside swinging ball from Rampal there. Got a nice bounce as well. Now that one's going to be going down. Looking at George with his open, with his mouth open is disturbing, says David. But now what we will do is, I think if I'm not wrong, I can get away with, hopefully, putting a background that's actually the stadium. And I feel like that would be quite a cool way of looking at it as well. So take care, Steve. Have a good one from that with Sebastian as well there in the chat. If I go like this one and go save. And if I go like this, I feel like you guys are watching here. Luckily, we have got that scoreboard still ticking over as well. But now, once again, it is going to be hit out through the covers. Nice shot there from Bubba. And now at this stage, coming around the boundary, it's going to be still the two. That was good running from Rizwan. Very quick between the wickets as well. We have got a new channel member as well. It is Jordan. Thank you very much for that subscribe button, mate. And also becoming that channel member, we have got the face there. And yeah, welcome to the group, mate. And you can now access the channel emojis, which I'm sure you will be looking forward to. We have got the Kieran, and also we have got ourselves the Hamish emoji as well, and the George in there as well. And also we have got the welcome to the family, Jordan, as well. Says Sebastian there with the 10 out of 10 out of 10 as well. And that is another one of the emojis there. But now running in for the last ball of the first over. Rampal just down the leg side. And it is going to be now a wide. So there's going to be another one. Welcome, Jordan, as well from David. And now at this stage, we will also I need to quickly find the thingamabob that changes the background, because I'm hoping for the green screen, there would be a possibility of having the full background as kind of the same thing as the other thing. That wasn't a sentence, but kind of having it the same as this one next to me type thing. So now I'm at a stadium, but it's a different stadium to that one next to us. So who knows? We'll try and see how we can go. And also we have got that. Will you bring Rugby Challenge 4 video bro as well? It says Anaket, we have actually got plans of doing a Rugby Challenge 4 be a pro mode a little bit later on in the week, perhaps, if that is a series that you have been watching, Anaket, or we are actually hoping to get all 4 of us together for a Kiwi Lads Rugby Challenge live stream this weekend, or maybe just a Kiwi Lads video, as well. Yeah, at this stage, Ireland, they are heavily the favourites in their game up against the Netherlands, hoping for a good start here. And at this one as well, nice sandwich as well, says David. But yeah, I want to work on kind of finding a good background, kind of finding that medium ground that does allow us to kind of do a little bit of both in terms of being able to have, the Kiwi Lads logo in there as well might be quite nice to have up in the corner kind of thing, if I can work out how to do that. Also, we can go like that. Pop. It's gone up there in the corner. Hey, what? This is slowly coming together. I feel like from the start of the live stream to now, we've got ourselves a whole heap of strange kind of stuff happening, but it's going to be Obed McCoy who will be bowling the second over of this game as well. But yeah, at this stage, Obed McCoy, 12 matches, 19 wickets taken by that man, and 4 for 22 is his best. If he can do that today, he might be in a very good position of being able to get something going and get West Indies maybe a win. It's going to be tough for them, though, to be able to win this game from here, but it's going to be Mohammed Rizwan, who is on strike. Just a little bit wide. Unfortunately, very nice finish as well, says David there. So already 2 wide so far from the West Indies in the first 7 balls of this match as well, which is going to be very unfortunate for them if they continue at that rate. I believe there were about 13 or 14 extras against Pakistan throughout their game. So they have to make sure that they don't have that many in this one as well. But yeah, at this stage, hopefully you guys think, definitely looking less blank as well, says John. That is a good point, because of the fact that I guess it has been mentioned quite a few times that kind of the background does, like, some people like the living room background, but other people say that maybe I need to look at a green screen or something along the lines of setting up a background, and it looks a little bit different as well. You genuinely look like a pundit of the game, glimpse into the future maybe as well, says Sebastian. Who knows? Maybe one day we will be able to get something going. But yeah, I feel like I'll ask the question, do you guys prefer having this? My hand looks weird, I think, but that might just be me because of the fact that it's kind of like it's slightly there, but it's also kind of fuzzy. And now Rizwan, once again, trying to hit it out through the covers. It's going to be a dot ball. So McCoy, other than that first wide's doing not too badly. But yeah, do you prefer having the green screen and everything here alongside it for the cricket, or do you prefer when it is the living room? Do let me know, because of the fact that because these live streams are in the middle of the night, more than likely I will be doing them by myself. Other than one live stream, I might actually have a guest. One of them looks very professional as well, says David. And does it end up lagging at all or anything when I am moving around all over the place? But now it's going to be once again bowled by McCoy, and he's going to be hitting it down to point there as one. And it's just going to be the single for Pakistan once again. They have already got more runs than West Indies had after 2 overs, I believe. And they have still got a few more balls left to be able to try and get something going as well. We always got that. That's just you, and definitely green screen as well, says Jordan also. That looks incredible, Avish, as well, says Kevin, and also green screen 10 out of 10, as well, says Sebastian. Do you think I should, because I've got this is the same picture as this one, but it's just slightly like kind of a different one as well. And also we have got there, I can't believe you got media accreditation to attend the game. You know, mate. And somehow I've been able to attend it twice, one here and then one over there as well. That's a beautiful shot from Rizwan into the boundary. Did it touch it? Maybe I actually was Bubba with the shot downfield. There's a little bit of a miscommunication there, and it's going to be thrown in. I believe Bubba, is he going to get 2 there? I believe they were able to get the 2 runs for that one as well. Have they given them credit? No, they might actually be going upstairs to see whether or not that was going to be a boundary. But McCoy, just a little bit too much width once again. That's what they want at this stage. Pakistan, it was Fletcher who was able to almost stop it. Tell you what, he's done well there. Or did it? Did that hit his other hand? If it hit his other hand, it's going to be, unfortunately, a boundary against him. But if it didn't hit the elbow on the left-hand arm, has he been able to stop it? We are waiting to see. They haven't really announced it yet. I assume he was, it's only the two, so he's done very nicely. No leg and bro. Plus, it gives you her living room back as well, says David. That is true. And yeah, I guess it is one of those ones. It's kind of with the way that the table was set up at the moment, because I got a little table there from when me and George played Far Cry, which was a little while ago because my Xbox literally blew up. But it's kind of put me into a little, I feel like I'm in one of those phone booths, which is kind of cool because of the fact I'm quite isolated. You know, I can put my hands up and no one can see me. If people are watching and not subscribed, there is something wrong with you. You need to get checked out of Saucy's Big Ass Wallet. Yeah, if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like. Also subscribe, because we are going to be back every single week. I feel like ever since halftime, as soon as I put the green screen up, now I'm like well and truly awake. So maybe it's because of the fact that it is a decent hour, even though it's dark. Well, it's not dark there at the moment. That needs to be blue. You know, it's quite nice outside at the moment. It's dark here, though. Now it's going to be McCoy once again. Firing that ball back, Rizwan, hitting it out to the point region, just backward point. And it is once again going to be the single. Now at this stage, they are going to be sitting on a total of 10 runs for no loss of wicket. And that is after 2 overs so far. They are doing very decently indeed. But Rizwan at the moment sitting on 3 for 7, or 3 off 7, I should say. There's the one white from McCoy as well. But yeah, at this stage, this is not the last game of cricket we are going to be covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, today. We are going to be doing the game between New Zealand and Australia, which does promise to be a very good fixture. Who will be able to top score in that one? Maybe it will be Michael Hooper, BKR Sport. You know, maybe he will be able to get himself a few runs, although more than likely it will be a man with the name starting with M, and that could be Marcus Stoinis as well. And lag as well, says Jordan. Are we lagging at the moment? I really hope not. I might have to get rid of my background if that is the case, just so that we can keep on running smoothly for this one as well. I might try and have a look at it at least. Take tea break in between as well, says Kevin. Yeah, we will be having a drink in between the two live streams, and also probably doing a little bit of research for this next game as well. Although this next game, I should have a little bit more kind of an idea of the players for Australia and New Zealand. I'm kidding as well, John. Thank you very much. I was worried for a second. I'm off to bed. Good night. All have fun as well, says Paddy Wagon. We are indeed, mate. And thank you very much for tuning in as long as you did as well. And also we have got there, hey, bro, apparently Michael Hooper is opening batsman against New Zealand as well, says David. The thing is, there's actually scientific proof / kind of scientific. An Australian commentator said it, so we'll believe him. And that was the factor of if your eyes are closer together, like a Michael Hooper, or Marnus Labuschagne is another one to look at. Apparently you've got better hand-eye coordination. So Michael Hooper would probably be pretty decent at cricket as well. Hamish, did you know Sean Wainui died today? I did indeed. It's kind of the news that you wake up to and you don't quite believe it kind of thing, because of the fact that it kind of like he's only 25 as well. So yeah, it was definitely shocking news that I wasn't really expecting for today. But condolences once again out to his family and friends in this tricky time. Just a single there for Pakistan once again. Baba would have hit it to the side. Baba Azami is the captain over their side as well. Take care, mate, as well, says Sebastian. To Paddy Wagon. And also, hey, bro, apparently Michael Hooper is opening the batsman. And also, that's terrifying for New Zealand, to be honest. I feel like it's terrifying enough having Marcus Stoinis out there as well. Bulls first seed this year, or first seed as well. There's BKR Sport as well there in the chat. But at this stage now, 131 is the target here for Pakistan to try and get themselves going. But we will have to wait and see whether or not they will be able to do so. I might need another light. I'm just looking at myself, and I'm looking slightly darker than I normally do. And I think that is because of the fact that I'm lighting up the green screen rather than my face. But I don't really have another light, unfortunately. I don't believe. Yeah, no, that didn't work. I thought that would be a little bit brighter than it was, if I'm being honest. You know, that's not going to work. I might actually get myself another little light to go out in front of me. Very tricky one. Let's go first seed. Why not as well, says Sebastian. Also, I like it. I like it a lot. Says that BKR Spot there. But at the moment, Rizwan once again going to be on strike here for Pakistan. They have been doing decently so far. My flashlight is still on my phone, and it's also close to running out of the battery. But now Rampal going to be driving for a beautiful flick to the leg side. by it was Rizwan, but he has once again gone for just the single. And also, who's your bet on winning T20 World Cup? Hopefully, it doesn't go to Australia as well, says Kevin. I believe at this stage, I think I have 4 that I have kind of gone for as well, which is going to be, I went with either India, New Zealand, England, or who's my 4th team? I can't quite think of who the 4th team was as well. And also we have got there Big Ass Boy is from Australia, so he's not too happy with that one as well. Also, Hamish, what time is the Netherlands match as well? I believe it is Netherlands versus Ireland at the moment are playing now, but I believe I'll have a look at the other fixtures that they have got themselves, but the games are either at 11 p.m. or 3 a.m. for those ones as well. And also Zach Levine will be one to watch. That guy's brilliant as well there, straight down the ground once again here. And it is going to be just another dot ball. So at the moment, Pakistan, they have been able to keep that strike rate ticking over just a little bit more than the West Indies were able to early on. Very nice bat as well for Rizwan. I feel like, Baba Azam in that one, which I know doesn't really affect sometimes how a player plays, but he's got a nice grey nickels, so we will give him that. Now at this stage, once again, around Paul, plenty of shots fired, I could only imagine as well, says Big R Sport. And also we have got there, it's going to be an interesting match there from Big R Sport running for the single once again. It's quick running between the wickets, and Azam able to scamper through and gets himself one more run, 3 overs gone, and 16 for none at this stage for Pakistan. So they're doing decently. I said they're doing decently about 7 times, but best way to describe it, they're doing decently because of the fact that at this stage they haven't lost a wicket here, and they're going at 6 and over, which is something that the West Indies weren't able to do until about their 18th or 19th over. So they have got a total of 17.1 overs to win this game for this match up against the West Indies. It is a friendly, so it doesn't count towards any points. The Super 12 will be kicking off in a very short moment. I keep on saying kicking off. I love saying kicking off. I should get a cricket ball. I should get a cricket background of some sort. Possibly my apologies in advance. I take all these back as well. Says Kevin. And also we have got the I hope they play in sandals as well. Says OV Snake there, but now at this stage it's going to be Chase who has got the ball in hand. It is Roston Chase. He is a very good off spinner. Was able to pick himself up quite a few wickets recently. And hopefully he can do the same in this game if you are going for the West Indies, because he needs them for this match. I'd say if Pakistan can get 4 wickets before 10 overs, they've got a chance. If West Indies can get Pakistan 4 down before getting to the 10 over mark, they have got a chance of winning this game. But they probably can't afford to give West Indies any more than around that 70 runs or so, or actually probably even 60 runs would be around where they need it. Will there be 2020 highlights on YouTube, an official channel perhaps as well, says Sebastian. I don't believe there's an official YouTube channel for the T20 World Cup, but there are a lot of channels. That's a beautiful shot from Bubba, and he has been able to get himself 4 runs for the first ball of Chase's spell. I believe there is a few channels that do put up the highlights as well that you will be able to find probably around an hour or so after the game. But I will try and find my best. Also, we have got the, don't worry, a billion illegal Indian channels will provide you full games and highlights as well, says Big House Sport. Yeah, there's quite a few of them around at the moment. But yeah, hopefully they do have the highlights at some stage as well. Roston Chase now once again. It's going to be almost trying to tap it out into the cover for the quick single, not able to get there, and he is sent back. So once again, it's going to be the dot ball now. There were a huge amount of dot balls in that first innings for the West Indians, unfortunately, when they were batting. So they've got to make sure Pakistan are the same here. Current run rate at the moment is 6. The required is 6.66, giving himself some space there. Babar Azam, little bit of a mix-up here. Rizwan now under pressure to get back, and he has scampered well. And now it was a little bit of a yes-no call. Running between the wickets cannot be a problem as well. Quite a few, Hamish. There is 164 channels currently live for this game, says Big Ass Boy. And that's the thing. This is a warm-up game as well, mate. So, like, for those actual games with the big sides, there's going to be closer to probably 500, which, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But I'm loving this match so far. I feel like I've missed cricket. You know, I've been watching a few of the matches. I believe the last match that I consistently watched was actually the World Cup, or sorry, not the World Cup, but the Test World Championship final between New Zealand and India, and what was just a brilliant match. That's at the knee of Baba Azam, and it is going to be just the dot ball. The moment Roston Chase, he went for the 4 off the very first ball with a little bit of too wide of a delivery going out through cover, but then from there 4 dots in a row will be open for a 5th, but Kieran Pollard hitting 5 4s in a row at the end of the match for the West Indies. Is that going to be the difference in this game? It possibly could be, depending on how this wicket goes. Oh, Baba Azami's seen the gap and he's gone for it. It's gone for 6 as well. What a shot that is from the captain of Pakistan. He's a happy man, the Grey Nichols. Well and truly got hold of that one. Now, at this stage, that is going to be the end of the 4th over, 26 for none at this stage. And it was just a crisp strike of the ball from Baba. And Roston Chase just giving it a bit too much flight, unfortunately, for him. It sat up there and it hit the tree as well. That poor tree got nailed by that ball. Kiwi Lad, or Big R Sport, and the Kiwi Lads are with the most viewed cricket streams. Don't you worry, buddy, as well. Says a Big R Sport there. At this stage, it looks like the whole team might have Grey Nichols, or at least the 2 openers for Pakistan do at the moment. I've actually got myself a Grey Nichols bat. Maybe I need that in the background as well, or the bat round. No, sorry about that one. But now 26 for none at the moment. Pakistan are going to be sitting. I'm kind of looking around. I feel like I should have a cricket kind of accessory somewhere, but I don't seem to. I thought I had I've got a Stuart Hogg on a stick, but that's not quite cricket. What do we got? We haven't really got nothing. We got a little tripod, but that's not quite cricket either. We got some glasses, although I can't wear those because or else if you guys can see the game, I will get copyright striked, unfortunately. But yeah, we have got glasses as well. But yeah, nonetheless, at the moment, we're waiting for the 5th over to get underway. I feel like this game is flying by at the moment for myself. Nissan play of the day, as well as the thingy that they have got down the bottom, and I assume that was that 6 from Bubba in the last over. Now it's going to be once again hit nicely through the gap for McCoy. It's going to be taken nicely in the deep, though, by the leading run scorer for the West Indies and at this match as well. Azam, they are just saying he is a very talented player, and this was a brilliant shot as well. Him and Rizwan had a phenomenal innings up against New Zealand a little while ago. That was one of the series that I did watch every single match as well. I'm looking forward to the Ashes this year. New Zealand are not going to be involved in that one. Normally we have a Boxing Day test somewhere around the world, but unfortunately this year seems like we are going to be missing out. But Australia playing England for the Ashes, what a game that is going to be. And the best thing is we get to see it 5 times as well, all around Australia at all hours, including a day-night test, I believe, starting at 5 p.m. for one of those ones. But now it is going to be once again McCoy. Oh, it's hit the pad, but it's down leg. So he is not going to be getting them out there, but it's going to be a leg bye for Pakistan once again in this one. But at this stage, the scoreboard has not been updating itself. One moment we will go like that, and hopefully, there we go, 28 for none at the moment after 4.2. Just a little bit pitching outside leg there. So McCoy wasn't quite going to be able to get him for that one. But overall, I would say at this stage, Pakistan, I can tell you what we can do. We can actually scroll down and see the win probability is actually 88% for Pakistan to be able to win this game, which is a very high number for them. But McCoy, once again, now, it's going to be a hard shot there for Rizwan. Ended up hitting the ball into himself. It's a no ball. I wonder whether or not that affected this here with the 88 because of the fact that Rizwan hitting the ball into himself there. And now at this stage, we'll go like that or somewhere around there, and then we will go back as well. It's a no ball by quite a bit here. So it is going to be a free hit, Ash's smallest trophy in the world as well. Says it was the in the Obi Snake, and also the Ashes Epic Cricket. I really enjoyed the series in England a couple years ago. It was pretty awesome to see. And Katie Dixon has said, hey, howdy, hey, y'all as well. Welcome in to the live stream, Katie. How do you do in it there as well? We're doing very well. We've got a little bit of a different background here. I've ended up finding a green screen from a little while ago. But yeah, pretty much at this stage, I'm at the ground, but the ground is also over there at the same time. And Scrum Lace up to as well. And there from Obi Snake and also ROP Sean Wino. Yeah, it was announced this morning, unfortunately, that he did pass away from a car accident, which is not ideal at all. And yeah, thoughts out to his family as well. He was a very good player for the Chiefs in terms of just having that, like, Chiefs mana is one of those sentences that pretty much goes hand in hand with Sean Wino, the way that he had the passion. But that was actually, was it another no ball there from McCoy? It looked like he was trying a variation there, and Rizwan was not expecting it to be in that kind of weird position, but it was actually still illegal delivery. I'm so sad right now as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, it's almost unbelievable news, like when you read it, just because of the fact that it just doesn't seem like it would have happened. Howdy, ma'am, as well. And also lit one up for my West Indies brothers, struggling a bit though, as says Sebastian. Also welcome, lass, with the 10 out of 10 from Sebastian there as well. But at this stage, just another single. So Pakistan doing well to just keep that strike rate turning over. If they can have around 50 heading into after the power play, they will be in a very good position. We saw there already 88% likeliness of them being able to win this one. And hey, brothers, and that chat from Katie Dixon there as well. I believe I've actually got this scrolled into the wrong place at the moment. So we will go like this, and we will go like not that. We will go like that. There we go. Now it's going to be whipped off the leg there. And is it going to the boundary? It's getting close. Nicely fielded, though, by Fletcher in the deep. And he has been able to cut that one off very nicely as well. And also we have got the Haya brothers and the chat from Katie Dixon there. But this one at the moment looking like he's going to have a decent start to this game for Pakistan. Same with Baba, as both being able to hit boundaries in the early stages of this game. Now, at this stage, I'm trying to work out what type of grey nickels that is because I kind of want one. It's nice and green, which is a very nice indeed. But yeah, I believe, if I'm not wrong, for the next live stream, not the one at 3 a.m., but the next one, actually, no, for the next one at 3 a.m., I might be able to have a cricket bat here for it as well. Or big swing, no ding, as they would say. And he did have the big swing across the line from Rizwan. Wasn't quite able to connect with it, unfortunately, for him. And it is going to once again be another dot ball. At this stage, we're down to the stage of seeing how many runs they are going to need off how many balls, which is always a very exciting time to see how it changes throughout this one. And keeping an eye on that required run rate as well. They need it at 6.46, and at this stage, 6.83 is what they are sitting on as well. We have got there in the chat, this Baba Azam fella feels or seems like God tier as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, he's a very, very talented player, that is for sure, and hopefully he will be able to get himself, maybe, we haven't seen a 50 yet between these two sides, so who knows, maybe this is going to be a good opportunity to be able to get to see one. And yeah, Baba Azam, very good player. Rizwan also has the potential of being able to get himself a 50 here for them if they do need it, because 98 runs, that's still going to be enough runs to be able to try and get something going in this matchup as well. So 15 overs left, 90 balls as well. We obviously got the, yeah, bro, he's the man as well, says that David, yeah, very good player. He's the captain of Pakistan as well for this one. Kyron Pollard, the captain of the West Indies, trying to reset his troops here, try and get them fired up for this one, because he needs a very good over at the end of this power play. It is going to be Rampal. He has only gone for the 10 runs so far off his 2 overs, but a wicket here for Pakistan, or wicket against Pakistan, I should say, will be absolutely huge for the West Indies. Because like I mentioned, 10 overs gone. If they can get them 4 down, which will be very tough, but if they can do that, I feel like that's the only way that they can win this game from here, just with the fact that the required run rate just isn't high enough to trouble these Pakistani bowlers or batters, sorry. Yeah, this stage is going to be hit. A little bit of a French cut there, and it is going to be going down to the third man, or sorry, to fine leg as well. And I do have live stream image. I didn't mean to upset anyone as well. Says Kevin, no worries, mate. It is all right there. I believe it was only BK Sport, who is, of course, he's Australian, but it's all good. He loves kind of the banter side of it as well. He may have sounded like he was mad, but he wasn't. Like we actually, we talk quite a bit. We've actually got our podcast that we do talk all things and international live stream as well. Says Kevin, but yeah, you're all good there, mate, as well. And had a bit of trouble with spammers earlier, eased up now. Says that David, yeah. For some reason, it seems to be any live stream that is almost a quieter one. They seem to feel that is the one to go for it, but now it's going to be hit to the leg side by Rizwan. Looks like it's going to be at least 2 here for Pakistan. Hitmeyer able to take that and throw it back into Simmons. Fires it at the keeper as well, but it's a nice run 2 once again, run pull. He needs to make sure that he keeps this line consistent, but Rizwan and also Baba also moving around the crease a little bit here, making it awkward for the West Indian bowlers to be able to find a gap or try and find that line and length, because we did see late in the game Harris Ralph, or late in the innings for Pakistan, Harris Ralph, he didn't quite get his line right. I got my Laws of Cricket app. I know absolutely nothing about the sport, but I'm so intrigued by it as well. Says Katie Dixon, he's bowled him. And that is going to be, unfortunately, the same style of wicket as the first wicket for the West Indies. And it is going to be Rizwan chopping it onto the stumps there. And he is going to be out 13 of 17 balls, unfortunately, for him. He ended up just chopping it. It was outside the off stump, was shuffling around a little bit, maybe just lost a little bit of that composure. And then from there, he ended up just chopping it onto the stumps. And that's exactly how the West Indian opener actually went out. So it is a little bit of an unfortunate situation, but Rampal gets the wicket. That is 1 of 4 that I did mention about that they will need. Oh man, the usuals, all fresh meat as well, says Katie Dixon. It was pretty much the usuals in that regard, but instead of timing them out for a couple of them, I did end up just clicking on block because of the fact that if, pretty much they'll come back for those other ones as well. So the ones like the familiar names in terms of the spamming familiar names, I should say, I just ended up getting rid of, which is unfortunate for them because now what will they do? Going to be very tough for them. But at this stage, it is going to be Zaman making his way to the crease as well. And also, we have a little laughing from David as well. But I will mention, anyone who is new to this channel, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe. We don't normally have a green screen, but you guys seem to enjoy it. So maybe we will have it back for a future live stream as well. And perhaps I'll have a better background. I did have an Isaac and also a George a little bit earlier on as well. That means it was their bedtime and their mum's turned the internet off. It's if they suddenly stopped at 11 p.m. New Zealand time as well, says Katie Dixon. And yeah, so I guess that was possibly what did happen to them. Unfortunately, they just weren't quite able to stay up a little bit later for the cricket, because that's the thing. These games are on at weird hours here in New Zealand. You've got the 11 p.m. and then also the 3 a.m. I blocked like 10 tonight as my new record as well, says Obi Snake. But yeah, pretty much they always use the same sentences. So it's kind of getting easier and easier to work out exactly who they are or kind of what they're going to say type thing. Like you don't really get anything different from them. Exactly there. I believe that's actually the English side. Yes, it is. They are going to be playing India in only a few hours' time. One of the West Indian outfielders just having a wee chat there. Now it's going to be run ball down the leg side. That's going to be the wide. So now at this stage, 37 for 1. If they can get themselves one more wicket before the end of the 7th over, I feel like they've got to do it in little parts at the moment for the West Indies. They can't go out and really try and be aggressive this early on. They just need to make sure that they slowly tick it into it and try and get themselves the occasional wicket that can then lead to maybe an occasional bit of success. But we see there Moeen Ali also in the front there. Jason Roy, he'll be wanting to get himself a few runs. I love the fact that one of the West Indian fellas, I believe he's a drinks runner, is just standing there having a chat to them as well. Going to be whipped to the leg side, going just into the hands of short mid wicket. And because of it, it does mean that it is going to be once again another dot. But yeah, England, they are going to be taking on India a little bit later on. And also it will be the matchup taking place between Australia and New Zealand as well. So it is going to be pretty awesome to see that game. And that is the one that we're going to be covering on the channel. So is baseball just corrupted cricket then as well, says Katie Dixon. I guess cricket's baseball without the gloves and something different to aim at. I guess you could say, oh, that's going to be a big shot. And that was almost a home run, but he has hit it over mid-wicket, and that's going to be 4 runs for him there if we're talking baseball terms. But it was a Zaman Farker who was able to get himself the boundary. Only the second ball at his face as well, which has been pretty tough to get yourself in on this wicket, it seems. Seems to be taking them a few balls, definitely for the West Indies. But at this stage, looks like it's not going to be going too badly there. And Zaman has been able to get himself a nice early boundary. We've got another yawn. That's not good. That's only about that's about the second yawn that we have had so far. So hopefully that won't be happening in that one for the next little while. We shouldn't have any more yawns for the rest of this one as well. Making that 11, that's it's nothing like baseball as well, says Obi Second. Also pretty much same concept at the end of the day, says David. Yeah, so I guess it's got its similarities, but then also, the few differences. Rampal, that was a beautiful delivery, but it is going to be hit straight down the ground for the single, too long off, and that is going to be the end of the power play for Pakistan. They are sitting on 42 for 1 after 6, and they did only lose that one wicket of it was Rizwan, who could be a big one that they have dropped off there, but now at this stage, they still need 89 runs off 84 balls. So it is going to be very close, apart from ball and bat as well, says Obi Snake. At this stage, Baba sitting on 19 off 17. Also, Rizwan facing 17 deliveries, get him the 13, but then he was bowled after knocking the ball onto the stumps, or chipping it, or sorry, cutting it onto the stumps, I guess you could say. I've forgotten the word, deflecting it onto the stumps, and then Zaman coming out there. 5 runs off the first 3 balls that he has faced has been very impressive indeed. Still got Hafiz Malik Asif, Imad Shadam as well, Hassan Shaheen, and then also Ralph. Tell you what, that's a pretty solid, I should say, batting lineup for Pakistan here. But as soon as you drop about that first 5 or 6, that's when you start getting into the tail, and that's where the West Indies can try and get themselves a little bit further back into this match. Hayden Walsh now going to be bowling a bit of leg spin. We did see the leg spin was working kind of decently in terms of the economy rate of the first innings for Pakistan. Now Zaman is going to be hopefully being able to hit the ball a few more times, maybe to the boundary before the end of the 8th over or so. Now at this stage, leg spin quite early on in the innings. They've already tried a little bit of spin And it didn't quite work out for them, but now it's a nice delivery straight away. It's going to be whipped away to the leg side, and it is going to be going down, and they are going to be going for the two. Great running there from Pakistan, and they are able to get themselves two off the very first ball of Walsh's spinning spell. But Saman at the moment, ever since he's come to the crease, he's looked aggressive in the way that he's been playing, and he's been running between the wickets very hard, which has been leading to the opportunities of being able to give himself a few more points, or a few more, I almost said tries, but a few more runs, I should say, as well. Still slightly in rugby mode as well. And also we've got there, it seems like baseball was invented because someone couldn't figure out cricket rules one day as well. Says Katie Dixon. And also you can't watch rules and stuff on YouTube. Some pretty good examples as well, says Obi Snake. But now at this stage it is going to be hit out to point. And it is another single there for Pakistan. So just keeping that run rate ticking over. And I did mention the dot balls in the first innings for the West Indies, just having a few too many of them. And in this situation now, Pakistan, they haven't had too many at all throughout the early stages. Other than that wicket, of course. We got another one. We're on fire at the moment. I only actually woke up at around 7 o'clock New Zealand time, or maybe just a little bit earlier on. But I did end up watching that game between Toulon and also Toulouse. So that was probably a little bit of a mistake there. But I wanted to see how that game would finish because of the fact that I thought it was going to be a very close one. And it was. The Toulon able to just sneak themselves the win at the very end of that one. It's going to be just left there by Azam. Oh, it's given as a wide there for Walsh, so that is very unfortunate for the man, as it was very, very close to being a legal delivery. They are showing the head coach of Pakistan. He won't be minding this performance from his boys so far in warm-up. They have still got a couple more games that they do get to play of warm-up before moving their way into, oh, that's a beautiful shot. Backward point there with the cut shot as well, and that is going to be another 4 for Pakistan, and it was Baba Azam who was able to get it. But I will get up Pakistan's next fixtures that they have got in terms of their friendly matches that they do get just beforehand, because at the moment Netherlands are playing Ireland. I'm not going to make it till 3 a.m. as well, says Obi Snake. I hopefully will be able to still. I feel like for the game between the Black Caps and Australia, since I know the players a little bit more, I feel like I'll be a little bit more invested into that one as well. And also, don't worry, lads, we'll learn from all the Indian illegal highlights and analysis as well, says Sebastian there. But now at this stage, Walsh, he is under pressure at the moment, going for 8 runs off only his 3 balls so far. But Pakistan at this stage, oh, it's going to be just whacked to the leg side there by Azam, but it is marked up down on the boundary by McCoy. And he is able to fire the ball back in for just a single. So Pakistan at this stage, they have this game up against the West Indies. Their next game is going to be on Thursday at 3 a.m. New Zealand time. So in about 2 days or so in time, it is going to be South Africa versus Pakistan. Then they've got a big one. This one is part of the group stage, and it is going to be India versus Pakistan for the Cricket World Cup, kind of group 2 they are part of. And then also after that, in a few days, or actually only about 2 days after that game up against India, they are going to be playing up against New Zealand in what will be a very good fixture to watch. As well as a Kiwi, we have got there the very first cricket international in history was between Canada and the US. I just saw it on a BBC documentary recently as well, says David. And also, Hamish, how did Wainui die? By the way, do you know? I know that it was a car accident, although they haven't really confirmed anything else in that regard other than just the fact that it was a car accident. But yeah, I'm sure that will kind of end up maybe... other than car accident, they haven't really announced too much else other than it was in the morning, I believe. So I'm not too sure anything other than that, though. I'm sorry, mate. And also, we have got there the very first cricket international history was between Canada and the US. Just saw it on a BBC. First ever international cricket. I didn't actually realize that Canada and the US would have been the first international game. So that's pretty awesome. And also, the only thing I know, I think I know about cricket is that the fandom seems to be a little more bloodlusty and merciless as well. And RIP Sean Wainui as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, there are some very dedicated cricket fans. And at this stage, I'm kind of in that situation. I'm kind of in that situation of I enjoy watching cricket, but I'm probably not as, like, some people are literally, like, just in it. Like, if their team does badly, it's kind of similar to rugby in some regards of the ones on social media. There are plenty of them out there. Oh, it's going to be Roston Chase once again. Bowling the ball, and Bubba not quite able to get onto that one. Apparently, it was in the morning, and he hit a tree. Awful stuff as well, says Sebastian. So yeah, it is a big shame because of the fact he has got 2 very young children, unfortunately there, and also a wife. I believe her name's Paige, maybe if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I'm sure that they are grieving big time at the moment. But that is going to be just the single. No, they're running back for the 2. And once again, well run by Pakistan. Good communication between the wickets. I'm incredibly shocked. I honestly thought he would be putting on the AB's jumper soon. RIP, says Aiden. And yeah, it's one of those ones, like I mentioned kind of how I found out about it. And it was, I got a comment on one of the videos just from the past, because I woke up at about, I think it was 3:30 a.m. or somewhere, or sorry, 3:30 p.m., somewhere around there after going to sleep quite late. And then I ended up seeing a comment, and it was like, Sean Wainui has died sad face, like emoji. And I was like, oh, that's a bit, like, I'm not too sure what video that's on. I thought it might have been a rugby challenge one, that maybe something happened, like a clothesline or an injury or something like that in the game. But then I went on Instagram, and then you see the pictures and you kind of see the messages as well. And then it kind of hits you as well that, yeah, it has actually happened, which I feel like it didn't seem real for a start, because of the fact we're not used to seeing such a young player kind of end up passing away. But yeah, it will be pretty big news in terms of hitting the rugby community for quite a while. Roston Chase once again bowling that ball with the off spin, and it is just going to be the single there for Pakistan at the moment. 5 runs off this over so far for Roston Chase. We have got their fabulous wing indeed as well. And also we have got their first game of cricket was in 16-11 as well, says OB Snake. So that is a very weird while ago. I see India arriving at the ground now by the looks of it as well. They are going to be taking on India. Or sorry, they are going to be taking on England, which is going to be interesting to see how it goes. Jerry Collins also died in a car crash, says OB Snake. And also we have got their with the hearts and stuff from Crazy NZ there. Yeah, India versus England. That's going to be a good game. And I believe I can actually try and watch both of those games at the same time, with New Zealand playing Australia and also India taking on India. I keep on saying India taking on India. They're not versing themselves. They are versing England is the match as well. Hello again as well. And also we have got the 16-11 before the golden age of piracy in the West Indies as well, says Sebastian there. But that's going to be hit through the gap. And once again, 2 runs for it was Zaman, and he's doing decently since making it to the crease. My voice is trying to disappear there, but Baba at the moment sitting on 30 off only the 25 deliveries, and Zaman sitting on 11 off 7. So both going at a very good strike rate. I believe the only player to get a strike rate higher than 100 was Kyron Pollard, because of the fact that he had a few shots in the later stages of the game, including 5 fours in a row. Will you keep us updated on all 3 games that happen in an hour or so? Says Aiden, I will try my best indeed. I can tell you guys exactly what is happening in the 2 games that are taking place at the moment as well, between South Africa and Afghanistan. And then also there is another game that is taking place at the moment, the Netherlands taking on Ireland. We'll get those up for you in just this short moment. But at the moment, 71 needed of 72 balls. They need a required run rate of only 5.92 as well. And we always got there. I'm not so much of a cricket fan compared to rugby, but I also enjoy it as well, says Johan. And yeah, I'm kind of, the thing is, like before I was in the rugby, kind of doing all of the matches for the rugby and everything like that, I was actually probably more watching cricket than rugby. But these have always been my 2 favorite in terms of the sport. And also, I do like a few of the other sports, though, that we might be able to bring to the channel a little bit later on. So at the moment, Ireland sitting on 70 runs for 2 after 10 overs. So they only need 36 runs off 59 balls. So they have won that game pretty much as it sits. And Afghanistan at the moment, after 9.2 overs, they are sitting on 40 for 3. And they require 106 off 63 balls. And that is actually against South Africa, Johan. So they are playing at the moment. And they were able to get 145 for 5 after their 20, which will have Afghanistan under a little bit of pressure in at those stages as well. Yeah, those Indian and Pakistanis are pretty fanatical about their cricket. The Indians couldn't even accept being beaten by New Zealand in the World Cup in 2019 as well, says that David. And yeah, that's one of those ones. The passion really is just driving there. Ireland is about to win, says it, Aiden. They are indeed, yeah. 36 off 59. They are going to be able to get themselves a very good net run rate as well, which could be important heading into the later stages of this competition. We have got there India and Pakistan fell in love with cricket during British occupation as well, says Obi Snake. And also, are there any archive games on YouTube that y'all would recommend someone new to cricket, which is me, watch, says Katie Dixon. Oh, that's a good question. Do they have many games on YouTube? I know that the BBL, if you like T20 cricket, the KSC Big Bash might be actually quite a good option for you from last year, Katie, because of the fact that a lot of those games have the players that we're going to be following in this competition for New Zealand and Australia. And also, we do get to see them play again later in the year, which we will be hopefully covering on the channel at the same time. But at the moment, they are showing that 6 p.m. local time is when it is going to be in the situation of, this stage, 6 p.m. for India will be taking place. JC has said you're the only English voice bring this game. No need to speak so quickly. Some words blur together. Appreciate your efforts, though, says JC. Yeah, sorry about the speed. It is pretty much, we normally cover rugby on the channel. So because of that, I am normally in like fast talking mode, but I will try and slow down just a little bit more. But I appreciate you being here for this live stream. It's going to be the boundary out through point there for Baba Azam. Was very nicely hit through the point region in there. Unfortunately for West Indies, once again, it's going to be another boundary. Pakistan will win as well, says Aiden. And also we have got the history of cricket, Katie on YouTube as an option, and also easy run chase, says Aiden. Yeah, at this stage, when they do need less than a runner ball at this stage of the game, I should say, it does mean that it's going to be very tough for them. And I said for the West Indies, they need to get themselves 4 wickets by 10 overs if they want any chance of being able to win this game. But Bubba's set with 35 off 28. Zaman is also getting pretty decent in terms of the 12 off 8 as well. And also we have got there, Johanna said, how heartbreaking was the cricket 2019 World Cup final for you when New Zealand lost? Only just as well, says Johanna. I actually stayed up for that game. And yeah, it was one of those ones that I think at the time I was kind of that tired that it didn't really sink in because of the fact that I hadn't really watched. I think I have watched quite a few of the games, but I hadn't watched every single one up till that point because of the time zones. But yeah, it was one of those ones. I know that there were a lot of Black Cap supporters who were very disappointed at the time of that one just because of the result. But you live and you learn, and hopefully, we'll be able to fight back in this one and see how we go. It's a field, Katie, as well, says Obi Snake. And also the shape of the pitch is very interesting. She's a big round girl as well, says Katie Dixon there. And also, if they keep this run rate up, yep, they will, says Obi Snake there. And also, we have got the praise from JC as well. So welcome in to the live stream, mate. Appreciate you being here for this one. We are also going to be covering the game between New Zealand and Australia. That's going to be a bouncer from Thomas, but hit straight back down the ground for 1. And once again, does mean that Pakistan get more than 6 runs for the over, 7 to be exact, 67 for 1 after the 9 as well. We have got there, go Pakistan from Johanna. Also, we have got there, should be, mate. You'll find the words cheating in Australia in the same sentence quite a bit, says David. And also pitch is that rectangular thing in the middle, says Obi Snake. And it is indeed Bubba at the moment. 36 off 30 balls for that man. Zaman also sitting on 12 off 8, doing decently, building up a partnership for Pakistan in the early stages of this innings. They have gone for 9 overs so far. They only need 65 more runs. Actually, it's even less than that now. There we go, 64 runs of 66 balls. Ireland are well and truly working their way towards a victory. And Afghanistan, they're still going to need 104 off 60 balls. And it's actually South Africa who were able to get the 4 wickets. Once again, brilliant shot there from Bubba. And Chase not getting the line and length right. It's going to be another boundary. And Pakistan are on fire. Baba Azam only 10 runs away from being able to get himself to the boundary. Trying to get himself to the half century. David Warner, Stoinis, and a Maxwell as well, says Aiden, for who the players are to watch in that game, perhaps. Roston Chaser, Bubba's gone big. It's gone away. Has he got enough on it, or is it going straight into the sky? It's going straight into the stand. It's gone. Baba Azam, I believe. It's actually a 4. I couldn't find the ball. The cameraman was not sure where that one went. He thought it had gone miles, but it's actually dropped, was it, by Hitmeyer? We're going to see this one on the replay. Baba Azam hit that one almost straight up in the air. Hitmeyer was underneath it. He dropped the ball. And then the worst thing is it still went over the boundary as well. So Roston Chase, 2 balls, 2 boundaries. That one was hit straight back at the man, but he was able to take it nicely. Whoever's got there. Hopefully, I'll be around for the second innings of New Zealand versus Australia, says Sebastian. So yeah, that will be kicking off, will be starting at about, I think it will be around 4:30 a.m. New Zealand time. Is that going to be just in advance from Azam? So it wasn't going to be available for the LBW shout. And at the stage now, Roston Chase, 2 dot balls in a row. Cameraman had a panic attack. He did indeed. He thought it had gone miles. It was just miles straight up rather than long. But yeah, at this stage, Ireland are very much working their way towards winning that game up against the Netherlands. And also, Afghanistan have lost another wicket. So they are going to be struggling up against South Africa. But it is a warm-up game. So it does not matter hugely who wins it as long as they fight back for those matches of the group, because that's a tough group to be in. South Africa also in that group is Australia, England, West Indies, maybe Sri Lanka, and then maybe along the lines of a Bangladesh or someone along that kind of line, maybe a Scotland instead, depending on how that goes. But that is going to be a good finish to the over. 4 dot balls in a row for Roston Chase. And now it is going to be 75 for 1 after the 10 overs. Halfway there at the moment. 56 runs required from 60 balls here. And Azam at the moment, 12 off 8. Bubba sitting on 44 of 36, doing very nicely indeed. And Roston Chase, so far, 3 overs bowled, 25, not able to find the wicket, only just the one so far. And that was the wicket of Rizwan. It was actually who ended up chipping the ball onto his stumps. Sadly for the man, but we have got the drinks break here. And I will quickly show you guys how many runs the West Indian players were able to get. It was actually, in the end, I'll tell you what, look at that. For live win probability, 98% in the favour of Pakistan. That just shows you that unless the West Indies can get themselves about 4 or 5 wickets in the next kind of 5 overs or so to try and bring it back, it could be going their way for this one. But Simmons was able to get 18 off 23. Then Fletcher, 2 from 6. Chris Gale, he didn't quite get underway for this one. Did end up getting bowled by Harris Ralph in the end for 20 runs off 30 balls. Roston Chase, 9 off 13. Hitmeyer was actually the first man to have a strike rate of more than 100, 28 off 24. Then Pooran came out, 13 for 13. And then Kyron Pollard, 5 fours in a row for that man, 23 off 10. And at the moment for Pakistan, they are sitting decently. Mohammad Rizwan, he had 13 off 7 balls. Baba Azam, the captain, 44 off 36. And then it is Fakhar Zaman, who is sitting on 12 off 8 as well. So their strike rate is a lot better at the moment for this match for Pakistan. And if they can continue going at the rate that they are, they may be able to win this game with quite a few of the games left. Also, quite a few overs left as well. We have got there. All right, lads and lasses, I'm off as well, says Chaos Dragon. We will see you later on, mate. You've changed your name as well. I do see there. But yeah, thank you very much for becoming that channel member. I'm sure we will get a chat at some stage as well. And also have a good one, mate. And there from Sebastian. And hey, brother, have a good one. Says it, Katie Dixon. I'm struggling to understand how you can cheat at this game, although it seems like you could be killed instantly if you decide to cheat as well. Says Katie Dixon there. And also we have got there, watch the famous underarm ball, Australia versus New Zealand as well. Yeah, that is certainly an interesting moment in cricketing history. That I can't remember what year did that. What year did it happen? Was I alive? I assume I would have been, but then I can't remember what year it was. So maybe I wasn't. If I can't remember it, or I might have just been very young. So I may not have known quite what was going on. But Ireland at the moment doing very decently. Only the 2 wickets down at the moment. And they are going to be building their way towards a win that will give them 2 points. And that will be important for them. The other game that is going to be taking place for this stage of the Cricket World Cup is going to be Sri Lanka taking on Namibia. And that one will also be a very good match. Bubba has made a 50. You're behind a little bit as well, says Aiden. So I believe I am still a couple minutes because of the fact I am on Sky Select on Sky Go. So I believe that is why he has kind of done that. But at the moment, it does still have me on 44 for his total. So yeah, I haven't quite got to see it yet there, Aiden. And also have got there. I'm going to look that up as well, says Katie Dixon. But now at this stage, it is going to be, it's a little shout for LBW, but didn't quite end up going in line. I believe it was down leg a little bit. By the way, we're listening in Trinidad as well, says JC. So welcome in to the live stream, mate. What time is it there at the moment? Do let me know because of the fact that at the moment here in New Zealand, we are sitting 1:48 a.m. and we are going to be doing the game at 3 a.m. for New Zealand versus Australia as well. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving my cricket at the moment. The Big Bash is going to be coming to Australia in December the 5th, I believe. It's 8:48 a.m. So it's a nice time to be watching a little bit of cricket over there. And yeah, hopefully the West Indies can get themselves a couple more wickets in a short moment. Going to be whipped away to the leg side though by Pakistan. And I guess I should mention the other fixtures that the West Indies have got coming up. So they have got one more warm-up game, and that's actually going to be on Thursday at 3 a.m., which I believe, if I'm not wrong, that would be 10 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago. And that would be actually, yeah, so 10 a.m. will be Afghanistan versus West Indies, will be when that match is taking place. And then also their first game of the group stage is going to be up against England, and the second up against South Africa. So 2 very tough games in the first couple of rounds. Welcome in, West Indies. Not doing as well, but it's a good game nonetheless as well. And also we have got their 2:48 says a wise one, and also their specific year or any year. There are so many to go back a long time as well. And also that was early 80s, same as Trevor Chappell bowled that delivery. That's going to be another 4 there for Zaman. Doing very nicely indeed. And at the moment, they only need 50 runs more for the West Indies. Just a beautiful straight drive there, keeping the bat face straight and just straight through there. And it was Zaman who was able to get himself the 4 runs. So at the moment, Bubba, he is sitting on 45, getting very, very close to the 100. No, that's the wrong number. It is actually 50 that he is getting towards, and just put underarm ball as well, says Obi Snake. And also we have their welcome fam and the 10 out of 10 emoji from Katie Dixon and Groovy as well, says JC. And also we have got their search results is, geez, that's a very big number. Not happy. The Brisbane Heat have lost Tom Banton and AB de Villiers, says Aiden. Where has Tom Banton gone? Is he still going to be playing in the Big Bash, or has he ended up kind of going overseas somewhere as well? Do let me know. But then AB de Villiers, has he retired? I feel like he's very close to retirement, but he'll probably keep on playing as long as he can. Then it was just an edge there, not quite finding the hands of Puran in the wicket-keeping gloves, and because of it, it is going to be another boundary here for Pakistan. They are starting to speed up that run rate big time now. They only need another 46 runs off 56 balls. They are not wasting time. No, because of the COVID situation, says Aiden there as well. And thank you, Katie. Says that JC going to be once again hit down by third, or hit down to third man by Pakistan there. And also they both can't make it as well, says Aiden. So yeah, it will be interesting to see who we end up with in the KFC Big Bash when it does start up. I believe the first game is on December 5th. And that's going to be a pretty awesome competition. The Sydney Sixers winning it last year. And yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not they can do it once again. I believe they actually won it the year before that as well, if I'm not wrong. That underarm incident destroyed Trevor Chappell's reputation, I reckon, as well, says David Doe. Now once again running in. It is going to be Thomas down the leg side. It's going to be the wide, unfortunately, there for the West Indies. The last 12 balls, 20 runs so far for Pakistan. So like I mentioned, they are really speeding it up. Baba Azam at the moment sitting on 45 runs off 37. 1 ball left of this over as well. Thomas so far almost finishing his 2 overs, 18 runs with no wickets. They need more wickets here for the West Indies. I believe when it came to that percentages of who is going to win this game, they will be sitting at about 1%, if that. It may even be a little bit less at this stage for the West Indies. Thomas, now that's a big shot down the ground from Baba Azam out through cover, and that is going to be another 4 runs, brings him up to 49, and he has only 1 away from the half century, but that ends the over. The 11th it was, and it's 91 for 1 now for Pakistan. Thomas just ended up giving him almost a half volley to be able to go after, shuffled his way forward, gave himself space, and over cover it goes. And it's another boundary for Azam. He has scored quite a few of them throughout this match, and also most disgraceful moment in cricket history as well, says Obi Snake there. Right arm over is the call, so I believe it is going to be Walsh once again. Yes, it is. 11 runs coming from his first over, matching how many overs that Pakistan have been batting for so far. I am going to have a quick look once again to see whether or not Ireland have won their game. I believe they will be extremely close. Yep, Katie as well, says Obi Snake there for the 1981. Is it that one? And it is indeed. Kyron Pollard here. What can he do to try and fire up his fellas to try and get themselves at least a couple more wickets, because of the fact that at this stage, you would say this game is going the way of Pakistan, but if they can get themselves 1 or 2 more wickets, they will need confidence, the West Indies, heading into those tough games that they have got up against South Africa and also England. 2 very tough opponents. But Walsh now is going to be going for the leg spin once again, going to be whipped out to cover, deep cover that is. And now it is going to be once again another single. So Zaman now, he's given the strike to Baba Azam, who is sitting 1 away from that half century. No, the sandpaper saga was the worst. Yeah, I've actually seen that by accident, found it as a random clip some years ago as well, says Sebastian there. Right, Walsh at the moment bowling right arm over leg spin to Azam. Oh, it's well bowled, and it almost was able to go through Azam, but he was able to stop it with a pad and also bring the bag back, or the beige. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly there, but I might have gotten that a little bit wrong. Ireland only 10 runs away from being able to win that match, and that will be a huge one for the net run rate. Walsh, beautiful delivery. It's going to be the single, and Bubba Azam's going to bring up the half century. Gets the fist pump from Zaman as he runs past him. And now, because of it, Bubba Azam, 50 runs off 40, the first 50 for a Pakistani player in this T20 World Cup, even though it is a warm-up match. So it does mean that he will still have plenty of potential of being able to do the same thing in a later game. Now, once again, hit down the ground, too long off from Zaman. And now at this stage, they are just doing it relatively comfortably, Pakistan. Now, at this stage, I will also have a quick look to see what we are sitting at for the Afghanistan game. They are 6 down at the moment for 51 runs. So they are really struggling at the moment. 95. Oh, beautifully done. And that's going to be Bubba Azam. He is out. He has been stumped. Lucky he got his 50 because of the fact that he is out the very next ball as well. It's going to be the second wicket for West Indies. Walsh, he was extended, or he did try and advance, tried to play the block and just missed that. And Walsh had beautiful turn on that ball. Thought he had it covered there, and it was well taken by Puran, who did knock the stump off as well. Bubba just got stumped out as well. There's Aiden, he did indeed. And also we have got there, when is your next Rugby Challenge live stream? I'm hoping to do one later on this week, but we will have to wait and see whether or not we can squeeze that in. I believe since I have got it on PC, I can still play Rugby Challenge, unlike all of my games on Xbox that did unfortunately end up in the situation of my Xbox exploded, so it doesn't actually work anymore. Old Brian McKinney as well, based out Under Armour. He played both cricket and rugby for New Zealand. I've got his autograph. Says that David there, and also we have got there, watching the clip, says Katie Dixon. Oh, I see what's going on now. I don't know enough about the game to understand what I'm looking at, but was rolling it on the ground like a way of, or just a way to take the piss. It was pretty much, I believe they needed 6 runs off the last ball of the match to win. Or something along those lines. So pretty much with the ball going along the ground, you can't get under it to hit it all the way to the boundary on the full, which is 6 runs kind of thing. So it is one of those ones that, yeah, he wasn't able to get underneath it, which is why it was pretty much, I believe they booed him off the field almost. But yeah, Australia able to win that game. Are you doing these cricket matches from start to end? Because they are quite very, very long as well, says Johan. It is the shortest format of T20 cricket. But yeah, this stage, I believe that is the initial plan. So hopefully we will be able to do so and kind of have it straight through the whole fixture. But we'll wait and see if it is going to be kind of the situation of seeming like they're going to be quite long live streams. We might end up kind of splitting them up a little bit. Another one down as well. Says Aiden, I believe you are just a little bit ahead of me there, Aiden. I haven't quite said it yet. 6 runs to draw as well. Says Obi Snake, so 6 runs to draw the match. For that one as well. But now it is going to be once again Hafiz. He's going to get his first strike of this match, and Walsh is going to be bowling to him. It's a beautiful delivery. It's going to be a hit, and it's to the man at short mid-wicket, and it's going to be another wicket there. And now the West Indies, they are looking like they're starting to get a little bit excited here. Taken nicely, and it does mean that Hafiz is on his way. The very first ball that he faced, and he is going to be on his way there as well. And also we've got there, you're talking about the greatest moment in Australia versus New Zealand's cricket history as well. Hafiz, he tried to slightly advance, drops to the knee to do the sweep. He was taken very nicely done there by Hetmeyer, who was in at short mid-wicket. And yes, sir, they are talking, or they are trying to use this example to explain cricket to me as well. There's Katie Dixon there, but Hetmeyer, first ball, golden duck there, and Walsh was the bowler. So 2 wickets down in that over as well, throwing me right in the deep end, says Katie Dixon there. Now, this stage, Hafiz, he didn't really last too long out there, unfortunately, for the man, but it does help out for the West Indies. Mullock now going to be making his way out there. It looks like he's forgotten his helmet, so he's going to have to go back off the field now in famous moment, as well, says Obi Snake. Yeah, he's got the helmet, as they are going to be using their pace bowlers, perhaps here for the West Indies. 37 runs required, 48 balls to do so. Pakistan should still be very much so the favourite in this one. We're going to have a quick look. Okay, 0.7, and that is with 2 wickets down in this kind of last over. So it just shows how low it would have been for the West Indies if those 2 wickets hadn't fallen. But, you know, it's not down to 0% yet. So we have to wait and see. And also we've got the crying emoji from David over there in the chat with the George. But yeah, Mullock going to be making his way out to the crease. He's not going to be on strike, I don't believe. I don't think they would have been able to cross in the short amount of time that it did get to mid-wicket. And at this stage, Ireland require 1 run off 30 balls. So they are going to be winning that game, and they will have a decent net run rate going as well. At least the cricket rules have changed If you roll the ball or bowl underarm, it's a no ball as well, says Aidan. It is indeed. And in T20 cricket, you'd end up getting yourself a free hit. And I assume that actually almost, if you did an underarm bowl, and nowadays you probably end up getting taken off the field, or in terms of you wouldn't be allowed to bowl anymore, just because of the fact that it isn't, it was frowned upon, I guess you could say there. As well, and also got to nip out Legends. See you for the second innings of New Zealand versus Australia. Enjoy as I say, Sebastian. Thank you very much, mate, for tuning in, and we will see you there once again. And also, basically, Katie Dixon, the Pacific Ocean was emptying due to climate change, but you can thank the Kiwis for decades of tears for the constant full Pacific as well. Says BKR Sport there. Now it's going to be Shoaib Malik, 39 years old, right-hander batter here. And he is going to be off strike instead. Now it's going to be McCoy. Beautiful delivery, almost able to try and get it through Zaman there, who has been batting very nicely so far. And also we have got the laughing emojis from Katie Dixon there as well. And also we have got they have a good one, brother, says Katie to Sebastian. But at the moment, you ended up being able to just get the hand to it, or just the fingertip to it, to be able to slow it down. And he should have taken his box out and rubbed it on his face as well, says Obi Snake. Pakistan at this stage, 37 more runs needed from 47 boys, from 47 balls, I should say, hit out deep cover way. With the swatted in and now, it is going to be just a single Walsh in the deep. Able to field that one, 24 of 16 at the moment for Zaman, doing very nicely. Katie, you don't need a box as well, says Obi Snake there. Now at this stage, 12.2 overs gone for them. Not too many dot balls for Pakistan, though, and that is why they have been able to chase this one with relative ease, I guess I should say, because of the fact that they've just been able to keep on getting it down. Occasional six, they've actually been able to get two so far. Yeah, it seems to me like they should have kept one playing if someone was going to break the rules on purpose, just for funsies, lol, but the rules must have been different then as well, says Katie Dixon. But now at this stage, kept on playing, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, I don't know whether or not the Australians would have been keen to continue playing, even if the Black Caps did offer that it would be just for the funsy side of it. I feel like they were very happy being able to get that one. And also we have got there basically Katie cricket is literally baseball. That's but with a different scoring system. That's about it. As well, says BKR Sport. But now at this stage, it is going to be McCoy, at the moment, sitting one run off 3 balls of this over here for the 12th. And they need to try and get it back down to a runner ball, and that's not going to be able to do it. Down to fine leg there, just for the single, though. Can be fielded by Roston Chase. And at this stage, I feel like if the West Indies, I said that they needed 4 wickets by 10 overs. If they can get themselves into the position of being able to cut back that run rate, because at the moment the required run rate is 4.8. If they can push that up to being back up to around that 6 mark or so, and also 1 or 2 more wickets down, that is the only way I feel that Pakistan can lose this match. From here, we all got there. That's what I thought. Says it Katie Dixon, also Rip Wainui. Says the Johan, yeah, very sad news for the Chiefs, the Māori All Blacks, and also Bay of Plenty, and just everyone in rugby. Now at this stage, going to be hit to the square leg side. And are they running hard? Yes, they are. It's going to be the 2. It was a bit of a stumble, but he's made it back comfortably. I'm not too sure who that was, but someone just said very fast, I believe was the comment there. Maybe it was one of the West Indians saying about the running style of one of the Pakistani players. Oh, yeah, I was got there. Do you watch American football? Not as much as I'd like to. I do only get to see every once in a while. And also baseball is more analytical and strategical cricket as well. Says the BKR Sport, and also Rip Sean Wainui. Says Katie Dixon there, and also we've got their baseball is like a corrupted version of cricket as well, says Katie Dixon. Now this stage going to be whipped away to the leg side once again, out to mid-wicket way. Fielded by the West Indies, and it's going to be a relay throw, which will mean it's going to be another easy 2 runs for them to finish off that over. So once again, it's going to be 6 off that one. So that does not help out the required run rate, unfortunately, there for the West Indies. The end of that over, though. 31 required off 42 now, getting closer and closer to the end of this match. I've just had a slight realization, and that is that I thought there was going to be more time in between games. So I thought I was going to have about an hour or so between this game finishing and the next game starting, but it's actually going to be probably about 10 or 15 minutes, if that, which is an interesting one. They batter you to death when they tackle you in American football as well, says Johan. Match summary at the moment, they need 31 more runs from 42 balls which is still going to be 7 more overs, which will go at about 5 minutes per over. So we'll get it about 2:40, and then we will be starting. But now it's once again going to be Walsh who has got that one. I'm going to spend this weekend or this week learning about cricket. I'm excited as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, if you have any questions, be sure to fire them away. I will try my best to answer them. Or well bowled by Walsh, but it's going to be hit down too long on once again, and it is the single for Pakistan. Malik looking pretty calm under pressure there to be able to make sure that he hit that one, as the last two players who faced Walsh did end up losing their wickets as well. American sports is all about analytics as well, numbers and strategy. European sports are all about being elegant and beautiful in place, like a dance. Pacific sports are about just whacking each other as well, says Big R Sport. And at the chat, I feel like that's a very decent way of describing it, unless, of course, they're playing cricket. Then you're probably not going to whack each other. Or maybe that's a whack and a half there from Zaman, and he has hit that one very long, very high, very far, and that's gone for 6. And that is a very good shot indeed for Pakistan. And since coming to the crease, he has been looking very good. And that, in that number, I believe he came in at 4 for this match, actually. And also we have got there, let's put it this way, it's a gentleman's game. Baseball is a asshole's game that spit tobacco as well. See Obi Snape, but a beautiful shot there from once again there, Zaman, and he was able to hit it all the way. Here is the words that why I was also always so bored to death with USA sports. I love watching international sports as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, I feel like my two favourites at this stage are probably rugby, then cricket, and then I feel like it might be football or somewhere, I guess soccer, depending on what part of the world you are from. I feel like that probably fits in about third. And also we have got there Hamish, who are South Africa playing at the moment. They are playing Afghanistan. Oh, that's gone through the legs, and that's going to be 4 runs. Unfortunately for West Indies, it just gets a little bit worse for them there. Just a little bit of an edge on the ball there for the reverse sweep, and it ended up going all the way to the boundary, and now only 20 runs needed for West Indies, or sorry, for Pakistan. They are speeding up big time, but at the moment, South Africa, they are playing Afghanistan. They got 145 for 5, and then from there, at this stage, Afghanistan need 81 from 27 balls. They have 65 for 6 at the moment after 15.3, so it's pretty tough for them to be able to win that match, I would think, but they are going to be playing the West Indies, Afghanistan, and at their next fixture, only 2 days away for that one as well. Now it is going to be Zaman once again on strike. Walsh tries to bowl very nicely just outside of the off stump, but it is going to be hit down too long off once again. I used to go for the go-to Tampa Ray or Tampa Bat Ray games and circa the Evan Longoria era, and it was fun, but I don't remember ever having as much fun as having fun at Tropica Field as I do on this stream as well, says Katie Dixon as well. That's because Tropicana Field is the worst stadium in the US as well, says Big Ass Sport. But now Walsh, he's once again tried to heave that one and has gone straight over the top of mid-wicket, and it is going to be 4 runs to Malik now. So West Indies at this stage, or sorry, Pakistan, they have decided, right, we're going to just finish this game off right now. We do not want to wait around. 15 more runs needed. They are not letting the West Indies have any chance of being able to catch up there, and they are not happy about Walsh getting 2 wickets last over either. I go to Wrigley Field as well, and it's a different vibe, but I get what you mean as well, says VR Sport there. But now at this stage, this is a big over so far. 16 runs off it, a ball to come. He's advanced, and that was an awkward-looking shot for Malik, but he somehow managed to get some bat on it as well. And back in the day, it was okay when they first built it. But yeah, it is crusty. It is crusty. Have they torn it down yet? I don't live there anymore as well, says it Katie Dixon. Because I believe the only stadiums I've been to, I believe I went to the Cape Tin right back when it was called the Cape Tin in Wellington. And then also, have I been to, what was the one before Orange Theory Stadium? Because I believe I went to that as well. And then I've been to Dunedin. But other than that, I don't believe I've been to Eden Park or anywhere like that, which could be one for the future as well. Match summary at the moment, Pakistan need 15 more runs from 36 balls in this fixture. And at this stage, we are only 52 minutes away from the the Black Caps taking on Australia in what should be a very good match also. But at this stage also, I'm just looking there. Ireland, of course, winning the game up against the Netherlands. There will be the game Namibia versus Sri Lanka starting out. That's a big shot once again. Has he got all of it? No, he doesn't. Oh, it's been dropped though by Walsh in the deep. And it's just that little bit worse once again for the West Indies, unfortunately. Zaman could have been on his way there, but it is going to be the single instead It looked like he got plenty of it for a start when he first hit it, but it didn't really go anywhere. Walsh, he was across there, and he was kind of going for it like this, and it didn't quite look set for him, unfortunately. Still the home of the Rays, KD. They're a good team now, but no one in Florida really gets around them as well. So he's a big spot there. Now at this stage, 117 for 3. So they have decided to go more aggressive in the earlier stages of this game than the West Indies did. Unfortunately, the West Indies, from the get-go, they were quite far behind. I believe it was about their fifth batter, or batsman, I should say, who was finally able to get themselves towards a strike rate of more than 100, which does cost you a big time. In T20 cricket, you haven't got a lot of balls, 120 to try and get yourself going. And also, we have got the thumbs up from Katie Dixon there in the chat. But I will mention anyone who is newbie, sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel. Hamish is a Chicago Cubs fan as well, says BK Sport. Couldn't name you a single player, mate, from the Chicago Cubs. In fact, I couldn't name you a single baseballer. Now I think about it. No, not a single one comes to mind at the moment. But yeah, sorry about that. Oh, it's a big shot once again. It's going high. Is it going long as well? It's falling into the gap there. Out cover way, and it is going to be once again Walsh who is cutting it off. Are they running the 2? They are indeed. Good running from Pakistan, and that is another 2 runs. Only 12 runs now required for them to be able to win this one. I went to the Cake Tin to watch the ABs play their first game in the new stadium. Then they lost to the Wallabies as well. Says that David, yeah, that is not ideal for that match, I guess, for the new stadium as well. And then Katie Dixon has got the emoji there as well. And also we have got there, surely you can name Tom Brady, the greatest pitcher in Tampa Bay Lightning history as well. Tom Brady, are we talking about the NFL Tom Brady? I did actually see he played against his old side, didn't he? And his new team won, which was an interesting situation a little while ago. But I don't think you're going to be able to quite catch me out that easy. I feel like you said any other player other than Tom Brady, you probably would have gone to me as well for that one. But at the moment, Jason Holder out on the field. He wasn't actually out there a little bit earlier on, but I believe he is the substitute fielder who he has replaced. I don't believe he'll be allowed to bowl, though, for this fixture due to the fact that he wasn't in the starting 11. We always got that Tom Brady is like 41 years old. He's still playing, though, which is fair play to him. I feel like that's the same as some of these kind of Sam Whitelock. Will he be playing rugby till he's 41? He probably will be. How old is he at the moment, Sam Whitelock? He must be getting up there, but not completely up there kind of thing. We will go like this. Sam Whitelock. How old is this man at this stage? He is actually not going to tell me. He was born quite a while ago. He's 33. So he's got 8 years left. Okay, 8 years might be a little bit long for him to be playing. Also go Bucks as well. And also I made 3 sports references in at the one comment I missed as well. Says a big sport. But yeah, I only went for the first one in terms of the fact that I knew who Tom Brady was. So I decided, got him, nailed it there. And also go Bucks as well. Says Katie Dixon and play for the Patriots as well. And also still fresh as a daisy, says Katie Dixon there as well. But at the stage, 11 minutes left, 11 runs left for Pakistan to be able to get. They have got themselves a total of 4 runs in that over. Thomas, after 3 overs, 26 for nil, or 26 for none. Tell you what, all of my references at the moment are your overs at 33 in a rugby as well. Says David also on a real though, Michael Hooper is the best batter in baseball history as well. I feel like he'd be able, like I mentioned, it is coming down to the fact that his eyes are very close together, and they say you have better hand-eye coordination if your eyes are literally just right there. Same with Marnus Labuschagne. That's why he's such a good batter. Apparently, it is down to the fact that his eyes are completely pretty much on the same level as themselves. So they are able to see everything that is coming at them there. But now, once again, it is going to be Walsh giving him the opportunity. It's going to be a beautiful sweep shot. But it is going to be... Actually, they haven't got anyone out there, so that's going to be 4 runs. Look, just a little bit too easy for Pakistan there. And Malik was able to hit it to the boundary. They need someone deep there if he is going to be pitching it up as much as he did there. There is absolutely no one out there anywhere at deep square leg. And he decided to give him a sweep shot as the option. Home run Hooper as well. Says Katie Dixon with the baseball and the rugby ball as well there in the chat. But yeah, at this stage, it seems like this match is actually going to be finishing very soon. I did say that I was worried that it was going to be pretty much a straight from this one. Oh no, maybe not. Rampal has to go in the bush to try and find the ball. So that might end up taking a little bit longer than anticipated. But yeah, I did say they do call him Homer Hooper. Oh, they've found a new ball. Unfortunately, not quite able to find it there. Oh no, they did find it. Jason Holder has got that one back. And he is going to be throwing it over the Walsh once again, but only the 7 runs required here. Afghanistan at the moment, they are not looking like they're going to get bowled out, but they are not looking like they are going to win that game either, because they still need 61 balls or 61 runs of 17 balls as well. We also got there. Michael Hooper also has a mean pitching arm as well, says that David. I feel like he would do. I feel like he could rally and truly, he'd whip him down. And what's a quick speed? Because I feel like whatever a quick speed is, add it to 10 more on top of it, and then that's how fast Michael Hooper does it. He's like, on the Wii, playing Wii Sports Resort or something like that. Does Wii Sports? No, sorry, Wii Sports was the one, wasn't it? How you try and whip it, and then you do the bloody, you press the A and the B at the same time, and then it does that bounce one, and you catch them off a little bit. I feel like that's something that Michael Hooper's very good at, possibly. And love the commitment, mate, as well, says Neville Singh. At this stage, I'm absolutely loving all the cricket that we have got ourselves. We are going to be doing the game in 45 minutes between the Black Caps and Australia as well. That is the game that I'm looking forward to. And hopefully I have got a few of you guys here. I tell you what, that's going all the way for 6 once again. And now they needed 6 runs to win, and that is exactly what they have done. And Pakistan have been able to win this match in very quick fashion as well. They win by 7 wickets. For this one as well. Goldie played for New Zealand in rugby and cricket as well. And Brian Lara says, David Allen, howdy, long time. This is different as well, says Carl Peterson. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. We have got a green screen for this one. We don't normally, but for this one in particular, I was like, you know what? Why not put something green behind me here? I can actually change what's on it as well, which is a lot of fun because of the fact that we have got a whole heap of random images, such as we have got this George one here. I can have in the background as well. But we have obviously got there. Wish Lara was still playing. I believe I saw him in a charity match not that long ago. Although, it would be pretty awesome to see him once again have a bit of a bat. But nonetheless, Pakistan are able to win that game by 7 wickets. It seems like more than likely will be going the way of South Africa as well for that other game up against Afghanistan. And also we have got their BKR Sports walks into EB games with pics of Michael Hooper's face and glues them over the faces of the cases of all the sports games. Best vlog ever as well. Says Katie Dixon, that would be a very interesting. Also, the old George face as well, and the George there. And that was when the treadmill was actually down. I need to sort that treadmill out because the fact that we are actually going to be moving it out of the lounge. And once it is moved, I feel like I will have to use it as well. And Carl Peterson has said, rip, too short of RIP to Sean Wainoa. Yeah, sad news that he did pass away earlier today, or earlier, I guess you should say yesterday, because of the fact that in New Zealand we are 2:16 a.m. But yeah, I'm sure at this stage there will be plenty of condolences out to his family and friends because of the fact that he seems to have hit, or he has seems to have impacted a lot of players around New Zealand, just because of the fact that the Chiefs mana was just one of those things that pretty much summed up his career as well. He was just one of those very passionate players. Māori All Blacks played very well as well, and always had the haka on the sleeve for those ones. Who was better, Lara or Tendulkar as well? Says Obi Snake. I feel like that's a tough question as well. I saw Viv Richards play at the Basin a few years back as well. Sachin Tendulkar or Brian Lara. Obi Snake, I feel like that one splits opinions. And if you say the wrong one, it's kind of like Bowden Barrett or Richie Mo'unga on a different kind of level because of the fact that it's like, I feel like that would be a very tough one. He was just about to peak in his career as well, says Carl Peterson. Yeah, I believe his last game for the Chiefs, he was able to score himself 5 tries, a record for the Chiefs as well. But in the end here, Pakistan able to get the win for anyone who was wondering in this matchup of the preseason, I guess you could call it almost, or the warm-up matches we are going to be doing the game between the Black Caps and also Australia that will be kicking off or will be starting in only around a little bit of time. But what I can do is I can actually post a link to that next live stream so you guys are able to transfer straight over to it. If you did enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like. Do you know Sir Richard Hadley? As well, says David, I do indeed. He was a very, very good cricketer, very good bowler as well. Never met him though, but that would be pretty awesome to one day be able to do something along those lines with an ex-professional cricketer in one of those ones. Maybe if we do more cricket on the channel as well, it might become a little bit of a kind of possibility, I guess you could say as well. We have got there, who's the GOAT in cricket? GOAT in cricket. I feel like Sir Richard Hadley, to be honest, that isn't a terrible shout in terms of that regard of him being able to be right up there. In terms of the bowling, he was very impressive. Ross Taylor is also probably a shout for New Zealand-wise because of the fact that he's been around for so long and he's also just continued to just keep on playing well throughout his whole career. I don't believe he's actually here for this Cricket World Cup, though. which will be an interesting change. But that is the link, everyone who is wondering, that is the link to the Kiwi Lads channel that we will be doing the next live stream on. And it is this channel as well. So we will be back in only around 25 minutes time. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be transferring over in a very short moment. But I will see you all